Chapter 670. Sir, oh go take a look, one divine realm. 100,000 mountains. The spiritual energy in this lower realm is so thin. That human is probably bluffing. As he said that, Wuxia looked at the 100,000 mountains in disdain. After entering the 100,000 mountains, Wuxia glanced at the cliffs on both sides. Humph! A wisp of true essence slowly gathered in his hand, and then he attacked to the side. Bang! The mountain wall was hit unintentionally and turned into broken rocks. Wuxia shook his head when he saw the mountain wall being shattered by him. Looking at this place, it was undoubtedly a lower realm. There was nothing special about it. Since this was the case, he would directly destroy this place. Then he could go back and report. With this thought in mind, Wuxia leaped up with both legs and flew into the air. Whoosh! Wuxia's figure stopped in midair. Then, he saw the island that Xiao Changtian and the others were on, surrounded by mountains. So those humans are hiding here. However, destroy them. As he said that, a powerful energy slowly gathered at Wuxia's fingertips. Then, he pointed his finger at the island, and a thick energy pillar attacked the island. Bang! The expected destruction of the island did not happen. On the contrary, the island looked exactly the same as before. It was as if he had not been attacked. What was going on? At this moment, Wuxia was also puzzled. Then, Wuxia saw streams of light flying out from the island. Whoosh! 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 A huge flag with a monstrous aura surrounded Wuxia. Looking at the flags around him, Wuxia could sense danger from them. Whoosh! Without any hesitation, Wuxia also turned around and walked back. However, not long after Wuxia walked out, the Nine Heavens God-Sealing Formation also emitted beams of light. Aha! Wuxia was hit by the Nine Heavens God-Sealing Formation, and she let out a miserable cry. What is this? Wuxia looked at his arm that had been hit by the beam of light. At this moment, his arm was being disintegrated by the light beam of the Nine Heavens God-Sealing Array, and turned into nothingness. Following that, Wuxia's hand gestures changed as he muttered something. Wind transformation. As soon as Wuxia finished speaking, his entire body rapidly expanded. Bang! Wuxia's body exploded in midair. As the explosion ended, Wuxia's illusory figure appeared outside the 100,000 mountains. What exactly was that thing just now? I should hurry back and tell Lord Yinjiang. With this thought in mind, Wuxia flew out. Just as Wuxia turned around, a dignified voice sounded in Wuxia's heart. Evil race, do you think you can still leave? Who is it? Who is it? Hearing this voice, Wuxia said to the surrounding people in fear. He had the fragrant wood given to him by Lord General of the Flame Army, which could shield his heretic race aura. How could anyone see his identity clearly? Could it be those powerful beings of the human race? After all, it was still possible for the old men to see through his identity. No one responded to him. Then Wuxia saw a golden dragon claw attack him. Seeing the golden dragon claw, Wuxia was even more terrified. No, you're not from the Righteous Path Alliance. What that human said is true. Wuxia also felt an aura that could purify him from the dragon claw. If he was hit by him, there was absolutely no possibility of him surviving. Bang! The dragon claw didn't give Wuxia any chance to escape. It pierced through Wuxia's body, right in front of his horrified eyes. Then Wuxia's entire body turned into nothingness in midair. Bang! Wuxia was destroyed, and a loud bang sounded in the air. At this moment on the island, Xiao Changtian hurriedly stood up from his rocking chair. What happened? Xiao Changtian looked at the outer area of the 100,000 mountains, and hurriedly walked out. Passing through the small lake, Xiao Yan arrived at the outskirts of the 100,000 mountains. At this moment in the mountain path of the valley, there were a few pieces of wood and some gravel. Then Xiao Changtian looked around. There was no one there. Xiao Changtian looked at the rocks on the ground, and then at the mountain peak. Did he fall from the mountain? It was probably the case. After all, it was unlikely that anyone would enter the 100,000 mountains on a normal day. It just so happened that he needed some wood recently. Looking at the situation, there seemed to be a lot of wood stored on this mountain. Senior, what happened outside? At this moment, the figure of the great sun immortal slowly appeared in Xiao Changshan's vision. After hearing the loud noise in the valley, Daoist De Yang was also worried about what was happening outside, so he quickly came to the valley. Xiao Changtian waved at him when he saw the great sun immortal. It's nothing. Maybe some wood from the mountain fell down. But I might have to trouble you to help me move these logs to the island. I want to make a giant kite for Diwu Zhang and the others. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the great sun immortal was stunned for a moment. Then he nodded to Xiao Changtian. All right, senior. After all, senior has recently started to use the sword kinesis flying technique. It's normal for him to create a divine weapon or something. It seemed that senior's plan had entered the final stage. With this thought in mind, Daoist Big Sun also helped Xiao Changtian bring the wood over. At the same time, in the palace of the clan, General Yin stood in the center of the palace, frowning slightly. Why hasn't there been any news about Wuxia? Could it be that the human race really has a method to purify us evil race? As he said this, General Yin was also a little worried. If Wuxia was discovered by the humans, Yin Jiang could still understand. After all, those old men from the righteous Dao Alliance could still discover the identity of the evil race through the fragrant wood. But now there was no aura at all, and Yin Jiang felt that something was wrong. That was because the human race had never had any means to purify the evil race. It was impossible to kill Wuxia completely. Seeing General Yan's worried look, Wu Nameless also walked out from the side and slowly said to General Yan, "Sir, are you worried about Wuxia?" When Yin Jiang heard Wu Ming's words, he slowly walked towards him and nodded at him. That's right. He's been out for so long, but there's no news at all. My lord, why don't you let me take a look? At this moment, Wu Ming slowly said to General Yin in front of him. Hearing Wu Ming's words, General Yin nodded at him. Yes. Go and take a look. Report to me immediately if there's any news. After General Yin finished speaking, Wu Ming's figure also disappeared from the palace. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 671. Father's Invitation to Dinner. 1. Barbaric Heaven, Skyfire Mountains. In the air, Wu Ming's figure slowly appeared. There's Wuxian's aura here. It seems like Wuxia has been here before. According to the aura that Wuxia left behind, we should be able to find his location very quickly. With this thought in mind, Wu Ming waved his hand. He took out a piece of black and white paper from his interspatial ring. Black and white paper. Nameless treasure, Ji, stepped on the black and white flying paper, and nameless figure flew into the distance. This black and white flying paper was one of the most precious treasures of the evil race. It was on the same level as the top-grade immortal artifacts of humans. The black and white paper did not have any offensive power, but its speed was extremely fast. Wuxia relied on this black and white paper to rank among the best among the dark soldiers. After all, every time someone fought with him, he might be killed by me before he could even make a move. At the same time, on the island of the Divine Realm's 100,000 mountains, the great sun immortal slowly walked into Xiao Changshan's room from outside the 10,000 mountains. Seeing Xiao Changtian lying on his rocking chair, the great sun immortal said to him slowly, "Senior, there's a person outside who calls himself Li Feng who wants to see you. I wonder if it's convenient for you to meet him?" Xiao Changtian was also surprised to hear what the great sun immortal said. It was little Fengzi. It was all thanks to him that he was able to successfully obtain the black ice crystal last time. He wanted to find a chance to thank them. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian said to the great sun immortal slowly, "Daoist Big Sun, bring me there." After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the great sun immortal brought Xiao Changtian to the periphery of the 100,000 mountains. At this moment, Li Feng had already prepared a carriage outside the 100,000 mountains. Seeing Xiao Changtian walk out from the 10,000 mountains, Li Feng also walked over. "Senior, that father wants to invite you to the Li family to express your gratitude for saving his life in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range." Hearing Li Feng's words, Xiao Changtian was stunned. Then, he thought of the fire-breathing demon beast in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range. It turned out that Xiao Fengzi was thanking him for warning them about the demon beasts in the mountains. As he thought about this, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Li Feng, It's nothing. It's just a small matter. It's me who has to thank you. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Li Feng scratched the back of his head. Senior, father has already prepared a banquet and is waiting for you. After knowing that Xiao Changtian was an expert of the human race, Li Chaoyuan also asked Li Feng to bring him over. Xiao Changtian heard what Li had said and slowly said, "All right then." Then, Xiao Changtian turned around and said slowly to the great sun immortal behind him, "Perfected De Yang, that mountain might not be peaceful recently. It'll have to trouble you to take care of it." When the great sun immortal heard Xiao Changshan's words, he nodded. Then, Xiao Changtian got into Li Feng's carriage and headed toward the barbaric heaven. At the same time, in the Li family of the barbaric heaven, in the hall of the Li family, in the center of Li Keiwan's sitting position, on both sides of him, there were also higher-ups of the Li family. The atmosphere in the hall seemed a little serious. At this moment, Li Chaoyuan slowly said to everyone, "All the elders in the family have returned, right? Since that's the case, I won't waste my breath. I've gathered everyone here today for one purpose. The senior who defeated the Scarlet Blood Evil Dragon in the Heavenly Fire Mountains is on his way to the Li clan. And this senior also had some friction with our Li family before. So I plan to give that senior 90% of the mine that the family dug this year. I wonder what everyone thinks about this matter." Hearing Li Keiwan's words, the group of Li family elders looked at each other. Then, an elder of the Li family stood up from his seat. "I agree with the family head's decision. If we can build a good relationship with that senior, then what our Li family has obtained far exceeds that 90%. An elder came out to speak. Soon, another Li family elder came out. "I agree. It's not like we haven't seen that senior's strength before. I'm afraid it's an existence at the level of a creation immortal, on the same level as our ancestor. When the time comes, with 2 creation immortals protecting our Li family's business will probably soar rapidly." Following that, the other higher-ups of the Li family also walked out and expressed their agreement to Li Keiwan's suggestion. 90% of the harvest might be a little painful for them. However, compared to Xiao Changshan's relationship, they felt that it was not a loss at all. Seeing that everyone from the Li family had agreed, Li Chaoyuan nodded in satisfaction. Since no one has any objections, then this matter is settled. At the same time, Li Feng brought Xiao Changtian to the Li family. This was the first time Xiao Changtian had come to the Li family. He saw the magnificent courtyard of the Li family and the dazzling array of decorations around it. Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart. This little Fengzi was born with a golden spoon in his mouth. At this moment, Li Feng said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, please wait here for a moment. I'll go and inform father." When he went to pick up Xiao Changtian, Li Feng knew that Li Chaoyuan and the others were in a meeting. Therefore, he planned to go over and take a look. Hearing Li Feng's words, Xiao Changtian nodded at him. "No problem. You go ahead. I'll just walk around here casually." After Li Feng went to the Li family's hall, a voice slowly sounded in Xiao Changshan's ears. "Xiao Changtian?" Hearing someone calling his name, Xiao Changtian also turned around. "The lady in red. Why are you here?" At this moment, the woman in red slowly said to Xiao Changtian. After he was captured by Di Wuzheng and the others, Hong Yi used the opportunity when Xiao Changtian let him go to escape from the island. Seeing Xiao Changtian here, he was a little surprised. Then Hong Yi continued to speak to Xiao Changtian. "Don't think that I don't know what you're planning. But let me tell you, I'm already Li Feng's girlfriend. Li Feng's ancestor is a creation immortal. He will avenge me. Just wait for your death." When the red-clothed woman spoke, she also had a feeling of being proud and exhilarated. After finding out that Li Feng's ancestor was a creation immortal, she thought of ways to get close to him. He had even given up his most precious thing. And all these efforts were waiting for the results today. At the same time, Feng and Li Chaoyuan walked out of the Li family's hall. He heard the words of the woman in red. "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 672. Shut Up, 1 Barbaric Heaven. Li family. When the Li family heard the woman in red's words, they were shocked. Shut up! At this moment, Li Feng shouted at the red-clothed woman. He had only gotten to know this woman in red a few days ago. At that time, she looked very handsome and liked him very much. So he started dating her. He didn't expect that this red-clothed woman had a grudge with Senior. If Senior were to misunderstand that the Li family was actually in contact with his enemy, he would definitely be killed. This not only made all the efforts of his father and the others go to waste. Moreover, it might worsen the relationship between Senior and the Li family. At that time, it was hard to say what would happen to the entire Li family. Soon, Li Feng arrived beside the woman in red and covered her mouth with his hand. Li Feng, what are you doing? This is the person I told you about before. You said you would help me. Seeing Li Feng come over, the woman's face was filled with joy. She removed Li Feng's hand. Then, she told Li Feng that Xiao Changtian was her enemy. Li Feng saw that he was unable to hold the woman's mouth. Pa! At this moment, a crisp slap slowly sounded in the Li family. Li Feng slapped the woman in red, leaving a clear palm print on her face. The red-robed woman was slapped by Li Feng and did not react. Before this, Li Feng did not treat him like this. He was completely obedient to him. Why did he suddenly hit her today? At this moment, the red-clothed woman also slowly said to Li Feng, Li Feng, what do you mean by this? Didn't you say before, Pa? Another crisp slap sounded. This time, perhaps because Li Feng had used too much force, the woman in red fell to the ground. At this moment, Li Feng only wanted the woman in red to stop talking. It would have been better if he hadn't said anything just now. If he really said something that caused Senior to misunderstand, then wouldn't he become a sinner of the Li family? At that time, not only would the Senior not let him off, but he would also be able to escape. His father and the elders of the Li family would probably not let him off either. Thinking of this, Li Feng also wanted the red-dressed woman to quickly fall to the ground and stop talking. However, at this moment, Li Feng also saw the woman in red slowly get up from the ground. Li Feng, why are you like this? It's because why was this woman so resistant to being hit? Li Feng was also a little anxious at this moment. He hurriedly condensed a wisp of true essence in his hand. Then he slapped the woman in red's face. After being hit by Li Feng's slap, the woman in red was sent flying outside. Xiao Changtian, who was watching from the side, sighed inwardly. This Xiao Feng's method of curing lunatics was really unique. He didn't know what was going on with this woman in red, but she kept saying that he was her enemy. When I came to this cultivation world, I didn't have any cultivation or strength. Forget about humans, he didn't even know if he had killed an ant. One had to know that one step could turn into a demonic beast. However, why hadn't he thought of Little Feng's this method of healing before? Perhaps he would go back and study it when he had the time. At this time, Li Feng also came to Xiao Changtian and said to him slowly, Senior, I don't know where this crazy woman came from. Well, deal with it properly. Hearing Li Feng's words, Xiao Changtian nodded at him. It's okay. It's not the first time I've seen this person. I wanted to treat her last time, but it didn't seem to be very effective. You gave me a lot of inspiration just now. Don't worry about me. At this moment, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Li Feng. At this moment, Li Chaoyuan also came to Xiao Changshan's side and said slowly, Senior, don't worry. Our Li clan will definitely give you an explanation for this matter. Hearing Li Keiwan's words, Xiao Changtian waved his hand. It's alright. Then, under Li Keiwan's signal, a few disciples of the Li family brought Xiao Changtian into the hall. In the hall of the Li family, Li Chaoyuan had already prepared all kinds of delicacies for Xiao Changtian. Now they also hoped that these delicacies could make Xiao Changtian feel better. Li Chaoyuan followed Xiao Changtian into the hall. When he entered, he glared at Li Feng. Sensing Li Keiwan's gaze, Li Feng also knew that this time, he was going to challenge Li Chaoyuan. Then, he took a deep breath and slowly walked toward the woman in red. Lying on the ground, the red-robed woman heard the conversation between Xiao Changtian and Li Feng. When she saw Li Feng who had come in front of her, the red-robed woman suppressed the slightly chaotic blood essence in her body. He slowly said to Li Feng, why? Aren't you the only son of the Li family? Didn't you say that you're the descendant of the creation immortal? Why are you so afraid of that person? Hearing the woman in red's words, Li Feng was also unable to vent his anger. Did this red-robed woman really not know? Or was she pretending not to know? The senior standing in front of her was also a creation immortal. You still want me to offend a powerful creation immortal for you? Isn't this asking me to die? From now on I, Li Feng, have nothing to do with you. At this moment, Li Feng slowly said to the red-clothed woman. Hearing Li Feng's words, the woman in red was also stunned. Why? Is it because of this mortal? That Xiao Changtian? Is your family of creation immortals so afraid of him? Where did your family's face go? When Li Feng heard the woman in red's words, he slowly said to her. I can only say this. There are some people you can't afford to offend, and shouldn't offend. Since you have offended me, you should bear the consequences. I advise you to have a certain amount of respect for Senior Xiao. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know how you died. The woman in red smiled when she heard Li Feng's words. No. How can he make a creation immortal family so afraid? I have to find out the reason. Did he have something on your family? Li Feng shook his head when he heard the woman in red. Then, he also struck the back of the red-clothed woman's head. Li Feng felt that if this red-dressed woman continued to speak, not only would something happen to her, but the Li family would probably be gone. After a while, 2 Li family disciples came in from outside and carried the woman out. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 673. Wuxia is here. 1 Divine Realm. 100,000 mountains in the lake in front of the island. The black water dragon was swimming freely in the water. His body floated on the surface of the water, enjoying the sunlight. Now, the Blackwater Dragon had fully adapted to his role as Xiao Changshan's gatekeeper to the island. After Xiao Changtian arrived, not only did his cultivation improve by leaps and bounds, but he also had the guidance of the ancestral dragon. As time passed, the other mythical beasts on the island acknowledged him more and more. He thought about how he could get such a strong thigh. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon felt a little smug. At this moment, the Blackwater Dragon turned around and looked in the direction of the valley. At this moment, a nameless figure was slowly approaching from the periphery of the valley. Following Wuxia's aura, Wu Ming continued to pursue for a while and finally arrived at the 100,000 mountains. Looking at the 100,000 mountains in front of him, Nameless narrowed his eyes. The fog on the mountain actually carried a mysterious aura. Could Wuxia be inside? With this thought in mind, Wu Ming walked straight into the 100,000 mountains. Hiss! In the valley, a scream rang out. The moment Wu Ming entered the 100,000 mountains, a giant python in the valley also attacked him. Humph! Wu Ming snorted coldly. The true essence in his palm slowly gathered and attacked the oncoming python. Then, the python's body exploded in front of Nameless. Hiss! 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 After the giant python was destroyed, other ferocious beasts ran out from both sides of the valley and attacked Nameless. You're courting death. Seeing more beasts attacking him, Wu Ming also raised his hands. The primeval essence in his palm gathered to form 2 huge light balls. Holding the ball of light in his hand, Wu Ming threw it at the oncoming fierce beast. Instantly, the beasts that had attacked Nameless fell to the ground one after another. At this moment, the ancestral dragon also popped its head out from the lake. It slowly said to the Blackwater Dragon on the lake's surface, Xiao Hei, let him come over. Let the formation deal with him. Alright, Senior. Hearing the ancestral dragon's words, the Blackwater Dragon did not dare to be negligent and let out a cry. Then in the valley, those fierce beasts hid one after another. Seeing that the valley had regained its peace, Wu Ming also directly passed through the valley. When he arrived in front of the lake and saw the fragrant wood on the island, he was delighted. Since the fragrant wood was here, Wuxia should be nearby as well. Following that, Wu Ming also saw the black flood dragon on the lake. An immortal king-level demon beast. This lower realm is indeed different. However, that's all. As soon as he finished speaking, an energy ball appeared in Wu Ming's hand. He threw it at the black destruction serpent dragon, just like how he threw it at the ferocious beasts in the valley. How arrogant! Seeing that the black water dragon did not seem to care about his energy ball, he could not help but sigh. A bloodthirsty smile appeared on Wu Ming's face. What happened? The scene of the black water dragon being blown into pieces did not happen. On the contrary, Nameless saw his energy ball disappear into thin air. Then, Wu Ming felt a wave of energy fluctuation around him. Whoosh! 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 Large flags surrounded him in the center. Playing tricks, Wu Ming said slowly when he saw these flags. Then he placed his hands in front of his chest and waved them down, releasing all the true essence in his body. He condensed a few huge energy balls around his body and attacked the few flags. Bang! Just like before, the energy ball hit the flag, but it did not cause any ripples. At this moment, the flag also lit up. Seeing the light on the flag, Nameless' eyes were filled with fear. Without any hesitation, his hand gestures changed. The black and white flying paper under his feet appeared, displaying his maximum speed. He flew out of the 100,000 mountains. Bang! However, before Nameless could fly far, a huge golden dragon claw flew down from the sky. It ruthlessly pierced through his body, and then, Nameless' body turned into nothingness in midair. On the ground was the black and white paper he had brought with him. The black flood dragon saw the ancestral dragon kill Nameless, and then saw the black and white flying paper on the ground. He exhaled. Senior ancestral dragon is still senior ancestral dragon. With such strength, we can't even compare him. At this moment, the black water dragon slowly said to the ancestral dragon, Senior ancestral dragon, it'll help you get that piece of paper. Yes, bring that paper over. Perhaps Master will use it in the future. As soon as he finished speaking, the ancestral dragon sank into the bottom of the lake again. After the ancestral dragon finished speaking, the blackwater dragon also took back the black and white flying paper. At the same time, in the hall of the Li family, Xiao Changtian was sitting in the main hall of the Li family. There was a table in front of him with all kinds of exotic delicacies. These were all food that Li Chaoyuan had ordered people to carefully find from various places. Not only did these ingredients taste delicious, but they also contained a huge amount of energy. To immortal cultivators, it was no different from the panaceas refined by alchemists. Sitting beside the guest table, Xiao Changshan's face was filled with joy. Li Chaoyuan suddenly said that his family had too many mines and wanted to give some to him. She had wanted to reject him, but he was too enthusiastic. She had no choice but to reject him. It was difficult to reject his kindness. However, this also made Xiao Changtian understand that in this cultivation world, the rich were so rich that oil flowed out of them, while the poor were so poor that they were sour. After dinner, Xiao Changtian slowly returned to the divinity under Li Keiwan's arrangement. At this moment, at the entrance of the Li family, Li Chaoyuan stood at the gate of the Li family and saw the direction where Xiao Changtian had left. He heaved a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat off his forehead. Fortunately, Senior was eating very happily at the dining table and did not take the matter of that woman to heart. Otherwise, their Li family would have made things worse this time. Then Li Chaoyuan slowly said to old two beside him, Elder two, bring me that unfilial son. After he finished speaking, Li Feng also walked in front of Li Chaoyuan submissively. Father, seeing Li Feng, Li Chaoyuan was also disappointed and pointed at his forehead. Do you know what you've done? From today onwards, shut yourself up at home and reflect on your mistakes. Hearing Li Keiwan's words, Li Feng did not refute and walked out of the hall. Wait, what did you do with that woman? Father, I've already sent him away. At least you have some self-awareness. Hearing Li Feng's words, Li Chaoyuan nodded and asked the servant to take Li Feng away. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 674. Thank you Blackie 1. In a dark hall of the evil race. In the main hall, General Yin sat on a huge skeletal chair. She held her chin with her hand and looked a little worried. For some unknown reason, Yin Jiang had been feeling uneasy for the past few days. Sigh, He sighed slowly. At this moment, Wuxia slowly walked in from outside the hall. Hearing General Yan's sigh, Wuxia said to General Yan, "My lord, is there something troubling you?" "Oh, it's Wuxia." After seeing who it was, General Yan slowly stood up from his seat. He slowly walked towards Wuxia. "Wuxia, you said that Wu Xian and Wu Ming have been in heavens beyond for some time now. Why is there no news at all? Could what that human said be true?" At this point, the worry in General Yan's words was very obvious. If it was really as that fat human said, a little girl would appear among the humans. With a method to purify their evil aura, it would be beneficial for the future war. It was a disadvantageous factor that could turn the tide of the battle. Hearing Yan Jiang's words, Wuxia was also a little hesitant. At first, he didn't take the fat man's words seriously. After all, the evil race and the human race had been fighting for so many years, and they knew each other very well. How could they not know that this human could purify evil energy? However, Wu Xian and Wu Ming had not returned for such a long time. It also made his heart waver. With that thought in mind, Wuxia turned to General Yan and said slowly, "Sir, why don't you let me go to heavens beyond?" Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang looked at him slowly. Wuxia was the strongest among all the dark soldiers. If he went, even if the human race really had some means to purify evil qi, he would not be able to do so. Then he should be able to escape. After all, according to the cultivation system of the human race, Wuxia was also at the level of a creation immortal. However, General Yin was still a little worried. Then, he said to the dark soldiers guarding the hall, "Go and bring that human over." As soon as General Yin finished speaking, the dark soldiers began to walk out. He was confident in Wuxia's strength. However, just in case, General Yin still wanted that human to go with him. After all, if something happened to Wuxia and she died there, it would be a huge loss for the evil race. With this thought in mind, the dark soldier brought the fat man over. Seeing the fat man, General Yin said slowly to Wuxia, "Wuxia, let this human go with you. He is more familiar with the situation in the human realm upon heavens than we are." When Wuxia heard Shi Yan's words, she did not say much, and only nodded at him. Following that, Yin Jiang also arrived in front of the fat man. He opened his palm, and a black bug appeared in it. Then, the dark soldier beside the fat man opened his mouth. Yin Jiang placed the black worm in his hand into the fat man's mouth. When the fat man saw a black bug enter his mouth, he also vomited. Seeing the fat man's appearance, General Yin smiled at him and said, "Stop struggling. That was the deadly flying insect I've been nurturing for many years. Without my guidance, he can't come out of your body. And if I wanted to kill you, I only needed to trigger it, and that bug would eat away at your organs. Alright, let's cut the crap. This time, I want you to follow Wuxia and listen to his commands, understand?" At this moment, General Yin stood in front of the fat man and said to him with a smile. Hearing General Yan's words, the fat man did not hesitate. "I know, sir. I will do it well. Please don't kill me." Following that, Wuxia brought the plump man and flew towards heavens beyond. At the same time, Xiao Changtian also returned to the divine realm from the Li family. Arriving at the 100,000 mountains again, Xiao Changtian was ready to cross the lake by boat. At this moment, the water on the surface of the lake also churned. Then the black water dragon swam to Xiao Changtian. "Senior, let me bring you there." Xiao Changtian smiled at the black water dragon, who came to take him across the lake. It had been a long time since he had seen Little Black. He did not expect that he could still speak human language. His cultivation must have improved recently. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian slowly stepped on the back of the Blackwater Dragon. Following that, Xiao Changtian slowly returned to the island under the guidance of the Blackwater Dragon. "Thank you, Xiao He," Xiao Changtian said to the Blackwater Dragon as they arrived on the island. The Black Flood Dragon also remembered the ancestral dragon's instructions when it heard Xiao Changshan's words. He placed the black and white paper in front of Xiao Changtian. Seeing the paper in front of him, Xiao Changtian was also stunned for a moment, but he quickly reacted. Little Black knew him well. He knew that he was going to make a giant kite for Di Wuzheng and the others. She helped him find these papers. As a demonic beast, Little Black was still very understanding of human nature. They were much more pleasing to the eye than the small animals given by the system. At least, they only knew how to cause trouble for him. But he had never helped her. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian said to the Blackwater Dragon again, "Xiao He, well done. Thank you." Then, Xiao Changtian picked up the black and white paper on the ground and slowly walked into the island. The Blackwater Dragon was delighted to receive Xiao Changshan's praise. He recalled the time when he met Xiao Changtian and wanted to eat him up. Fortunately, Senior didn't argue with him at that time. Otherwise, he would be like that fellow from before, with no bones left. And today, Senior's praise for him, did it mean that Senior was increasingly acknowledging him? As he thought about this, the Blackwater Dragon smiled. Then, he swam towards the bottom of the lake. Xiao Changtian came to the island with the black and white paper and found the great sun immortal. "Taoist Big Sun, please help me get those logs. I'm going to start making giant kites." On the island, after hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the great sun immortal nodded at him. At this moment, outside the 100,000 mountains, Wuxia and the fat man's figures slowly appeared. After arriving at heavens beyond, he relied on Wuxia's strength and the guidance of the fat man. The two of them also came all the way here. Then, the two of them slowly walked towards the 100,000 mountains. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 675. Wuxia flees. 1 Divine Realm. 100,000 Mountains. Wuxia led the plump man slowly into the 100,000 mountains. When Wuxia and the fat man entered the valley, in the lake, the Blackwater Dragon slowly said to the Ancestral Dragon, "Senior Ancestral Dragon, someone else is here. However, there are 2 people this time. What should we do?" When the Ancestral Dragon heard the Blackwater Dragon's words, he spat out a bubble. "Don't worry, Master is still making kites by the lake. 11-inch. Moreover, there's a human among them this time. Don't act rashly and let them come over." Hearing the Ancestral Dragon's words, the Blackwater Dragon nodded at him. At the same time, Wuxia and the fat man arrived at the lakeside without any hindrance. At this moment, Wuxia's eyes narrowed. He hurriedly stopped the fat man beside him from continuing to move forward. "My lord, what's wrong?" At this moment, the fat man said slowly to Wuxia. Looking at the lakeside, the fat man also saw Xiao Changtian. "Sir, it's that person. He's with the little girl." After he finished speaking, the fat man saw Wuxia clenching her fists tightly, and her eyes were red. Wuxia was now almost certain that Wuxin and Wu Ming had met their doom. Moreover, he had died on this island. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was also wiping the sweat off his forehead. From the corner of his eyes, he caught sight of Wuxia and the plump man. Seeing them, Xiao Changtian also stood up and waved at them. The fat man saw Xiao Changtian waving at them and said to Wuxia, "Sir, what should we do now? That person is just a mortal. Why don't we kill him?" "Pa." At this moment, Wuxia also gave the fat man a slap. "What are you talking about? Do you want me to die?" The fat man was suddenly slapped by Wuxia, and he was a little dumbfounded. Covering her face with her hand, she said slowly to Wuxia, "Sir, what's wrong? Did I say something wrong?" Seeing Xiao Changtian, the fat man recalled what happened in the Sky Fire mountain range. He wanted to borrow Wuxia's hand to help him take revenge. "Pa." When Wuxia heard the fat man's words, she slapped him again. "What are you talking about? Didn't you see the sword in that person's hand? Let's leave quickly. Otherwise, we'll have to leave here." If it wasn't for the fact that the fat man was still useful, Wuxia would have ignored him. He felt a life-threatening aura from Xiao Changshan's sword. His instinct, which had been through many battles, was driving him away from this place. Otherwise, he might have ended up on this island forever like Wuxin and Wu Ming. At this moment, the sword in Xiao Changshan's hand also emitted a bright light. Following that, Wuxia, who was on the other side of the lake, also spat out a mouthful of blood. Seeing the blood on his palm, Wuxia hurriedly said to the fat man beside him, "Quickly take me away." Seeing Wuxia spit out blood, the fat man did not dare to be negligent. He quickly supported Wuxia and walked out of the 100,000 mountains. At this moment, Xiao Changtian saw Wuxia and the fat man slowly walking out of the 100,000 mountains. Could it be that he went the wrong way? Xiao Changtian returned to his seat. He recalled that there was also a naked man who walked into the 100,000 mountains last time. Xiao Changtian wasn't surprised that Wuxia and the fat man had come to the 100,000 mountains. At this moment in the lake, the black water dragon slowly said to the ancestral dragon, "Senior ancestral dragon, they're leaving. Should we make a move?" The black flood dragon knew that ancestral dragon and the other divine beasts seemed to hate those evil races very much. Thus, when he saw Wuxia and the fat man leaving the 100,000 mountains, he quickly asked Zulong for his opinion. Before Zulong could reply, Xiao Changtian, who was by the lake, was also talking to himself. "Forget it, let them go." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the black water dragon understood. At the same time, under the lead of the fat man, Wuxia slowly returned to the evil race's palace. In the great hall of the evil race, Yin Jiang saw Wuxia and the fat man walking in from outside the palace. Seeing the fat man supporting Wuxia, General Yin had a bad feeling. He quickly stepped forward and came to Wuxia's side, saying slowly to him, "What is it, Wuxia?" At this moment, beside the plump man, Wuxia had already fainted. Seeing Wuxia's weak appearance, General Yin glared at the fat man beside him. What happened? How did Wuxia get so badly injured? Sensing the anger in General Yan's words, the fat man immediately said, "Sir, I don't know either. The fat man then told Yin Jiang everything that happened after they went to heavens beyond. At this moment, a magus from the evil tribe came to Yin Jiang and treated him. After a while, Wuxia slowly woke up. At this moment, Wuxia stood up and said to General Yin slowly, "Lord Flame General, Wuxin and Wuming might have already been killed." Hearing Wuxia's words, although General Yin was prepared, his heart still skipped a beat. Following that, General Yin said slowly to Wuxia, "Wuxia, don't be anxious, speak slowly. Do you know what killed them?" Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia shook her head. "I don't know. When I got there, they had already been killed." Hearing Wuxia's reply, Yin Jiang paced back and forth in front of him. "Have you seen those old men from the Righteous Path Alliance?" Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia shook her head. "Those people from the Righteous Path Alliance are not on that island. That person is a young man, not a little girl." After Wuxia finished speaking, she seemed to be afraid that General Yin would blame her. The fat man quickly explained to Yin Jiang and Wuxia, "That person and that little girl are in cahoots." Hearing Wuxia and the fat man's words, General Yan's heart felt heavy. Since it was not those old men from the Righteous Path Alliance, Wuxin and Wuming should not be discovered. Thinking of this, Yin Jiang continued to ask Wuxia, "Wuxia, did you see the treasures on Wu Xian and Wu Ming, the fragrant wood and the black and white flying paper?" Logically speaking, with these two treasures, the aura of the evil race on their bodies should not be discovered. If they were discovered, could there be something wrong with these two treasures? After hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia hesitated for a moment. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 676, Early Battle, 1, The Evil Race, a Palace. Wuxia looked at General Yin in front of her, her words hesitant. Seeing the hesitation on Wuxia's face, General Yan's eyelids twitched as he said slowly, "Wuxia, what's wrong? My lord, please don't be angry with me for saying it." At this moment, Wuxia spoke slowly to General Yin. Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang took a deep breath and said slowly to Wuxia, "Just say it. No matter what the result is, I can accept it." Seeing General Yan's serious expression, Wuxia slowly stood up and said to General Yin, "My lord, when I was on the other side of that person's island, I saw that person smashing your fragrant wood. It seemed like he was making something." "What?" Before Wuxia could finish, Yin Jiang interrupted her. "You said that the fragrant wood that I painstakingly obtained from the clan was destroyed by that person? You still want to use him to make things? It's also possible that it's a provocation from our evil race. At this moment, Wuxia slowly added to Yin Jiang. Good. Very good. At this moment, General Yin said angrily as he looked at Wuxia beside him. Looking at Wuxia, he recalled what he had just said. Whoosh. Yin Jiang slowly exhaled. At the same time, he clenched his fists and continued to say to Wuxia, "What about the nameless black and white paper? Did you see it?" Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia also said to him directly, "I don't know what method that person used on the nameless black and white paper. It has already been broken down into pieces." While speaking, Wuxia was also looking at General Yan's expression. After Wuxia finished speaking, General Yan could not suppress the anger in his heart. He waved his hand around, and a pearl on the side was directly smashed into pieces. Preposterous, preposterous! The black and white flying paper and the fragrant wood were treasures that he had obtained from the clan after going through countless hardships. But now, they were all destroyed by Xiao Changtian. Humans are really arrogant now. Yin Jiang looked at the direction of heavens beyond and said slowly, destroying the fragrant wood and the black and white paper in front of Wuxia. What was the meaning of this? Wasn't it just a provocation to him and a slap to his face? The more Yin Jiang thought about it, the angrier he became. He then said to Wuxia slowly, "Wuxia, you've worked hard this time. Stay here and rest. I'll bring some people over and chop that human up to vent the hatred in my heart." After he finished speaking, Yin Jiang also loudly said in the hall, "Where are the dark soldiers?" Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as General Yin finished speaking, rows of dark soldiers walked neatly from the various entrances of the palace. Yes, when they saw General Yin, the dark soldiers shouted at him. When Yin Jiang saw these dark soldiers, he said to them, "Our race has been immersed for so many years. Those humans might think that they can do it again. He actually killed 2 of our great generals, and even destroyed the most precious treasure of our evil race. As your leader, I have the obligation to bring you over and teach them a lesson." After Yin Jiang finished speaking, the dark soldiers also slowly said to him, "We will listen to General Yan's arrangements." At this moment, Wuxia also came to General Yan's side and said to him slowly, "General Yan, you can't." Hearing Wuxia dissuade him, the general of the farms waved his hand at him. "Wuxia, I know what you want to say. Is it about the grand plan? Then you don't have to say. I'll attack the humans in advance. I believe the clan will understand." After General Yin finished speaking, Wuxia shook her head at him. "Lord Flame General, that's not what I meant. Actually, that person has an extremely powerful longsword in his hand. When we were on the island, if I didn't leave quickly, I might have stayed there. Now that I think about it, Wuxin and Wuming might have died under that longsword." Thinking of the sword in Xiao Changshan's hand, Wuxia still had some lingering fear. The aura that the longsword emitted made him feel a bone-deep danger. Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang also struck at the surrounding pillars. A huge pit appeared on the pillar. "That human still wants to kill you? Preposterous, really preposterous." At this moment, General Yin said angrily, "Wuxia could be said to be the bravest warrior here. After he killed Wu Ming and Wu Xian, he was already in pain. He did not expect that person to want to kill Wuxia. It was really intolerable." Following that, General Yin said slowly to Wuxia, "Wuxia, rest assured and recuperate here. I have the true armor given to me by the clan leader. I don't believe that human can do anything to me." With this thought in mind, General Yin also wanted to lead the dark soldiers towards the direction of heavens beyond. At the same time, in the human realm upon heavens, in an alternate dimension, the white-browed elder and the spiritual pearl elder sat in a circle. At this moment, Elder Ling Zhu, who was sitting in the middle of the crowd, slowly opened her eyes. This evil race has been getting more and more restless recently. As the old man finished speaking, Man Tian also said, "Yes, the aura at the border has been very intense recently. The evil race can't be going to start a holy war, right?" Man Tian's words also made the others' hearts tighten. Following that, everyone also saw waves of black gas rising from the grand array in front of them. Seeing the black chi, the old man and the others looked at each other. Looks like the evil race is really going to start a war. After the old man finished speaking, Zheng Tian also said to him, Lingzhu, let me go over. Let me destroy them all. Hearing Zhengshan's words, Lingzhu shook her head. We still need to guard the center of the formation. It's not appropriate for us to attack. Moreover, the evil race's life force is extremely tenacious. It's difficult for us to kill them. Seeing Lingzhu shake her head, Zheng Tian waved his sleeve and said slowly, Then what do you think we should do? Didn't you see someone who could purify evil energy in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range? Looks like it's time to pay him a visit. At this moment, the spiritual pearl elder slowly said to the others. Hearing the elder's words, the others looked at each other and did not object. You guys stay here. I'll go see him personally. As soon as the old man finished speaking, his body turned into a white fog and flew out. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 677. I'm going to kill him. Don't stop me. One divine realm, outside the 100,000 mountains. General Yin led a group of dark soldiers and arrived at a mountain peak outside the 100,000 mountains. Lord Flame General, I feel that it is not appropriate for us to enter rashly like this. On the mountain peak, Wuxia came to General Yan's side and said slowly to him. When Yin Jiang heard Wuxia's words, he frowned. Wuxia, we are already here. Do you still want us to go back? Because she was worried about General Yan's safety, Wuxia had followed him all the way here. Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia also said to him slowly, Lord Yin Jiang, it is precisely because we have come here that we need to be careful. Darren, don't you think that it's too easy for me to come here? You have to know that Wuxin and Wuming just died here not long ago. Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang started to hesitate. Indeed, he had walked all the way here because of his anger. However, it seemed to have gone too smoothly. There were almost no obstacles. It was as if he had specially let them come over. Logically speaking, the few old men from the Righteous Tao Alliance should have noticed that so many of them had come to heavens beyond. Could this be a trap? At the thought of this, General Yin frowned. Then, he slowly said to the dark soldiers behind him, Bring me that human. When Wuxia saw that the flame general had calmed down, he heaved a sigh of relief. He was also afraid that General Yin would rush in and die on impulse. Very quickly, the fat man arrived in front of General Yin with the help of a few soldiers of the Darkness Army. Seeing the fat man, General Yin slowly said to him, Human, didn't you say that you knew that person? Tell me, what do you know? When the fat man heard General Yan's words, he looked at the familiar scene around him. He also knew who General Yin was asking about. Then, the fat man slowly said to General Yin, Sir, I met that person in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range. At that time, At this moment, the fat man told Yin Jiang everything that he had encountered in the Sky Fire Mountain range. When Wuxia heard the fat man's words, she slowly said to him, Are you saying that there is no aura on that person's body, like a mortal? The fat man nodded at Wuxia. Yes, sir, it's true. After the fat man finished speaking, he saw Wuxia pull out a long sword from his waist. Is that really the case? Looking at the sword in Wuxia's hand, the fat man felt like crying. It's true, my lord. It can't be any more true. Oh, is it? At this moment, Wuxia also placed her sword on the fat man's neck. Really? Try saying that again. It's true. At this moment, the fat man felt a chill down his lower body. He squeezed his legs together, and his pants became wet. Lord, I really didn't lie to you. Seeing the fat man's appearance, General Yin knew that he was not lying. At this moment, Wuxia quietly said to General Yin, Sir, I didn't sense that person's aura before. Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang started to hesitate. Wuxia was a creation immortal, and even he could not see through her. Could that person be the ruler of the human race? Unable to come up with an idea, General Yin turned to Wuxia and said, Wuxia, what do you think we should do? Lord Yin Jiang, why don't we send someone in to investigate that person's strength? As she spoke, Wuxia glanced at the plump man. Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang nodded his head. At the same time on the island, Xiao Changtian was sitting on a stool by the lake, looking at the kite in his hand. His face revealed a satisfied expression. At this moment, Guo Yurong walked out from the side. "Young Master Xiao, what are you doing here?" Hearing Guo Yurong's words, Xiao Changtian also stood up from the stool and said slowly to Guo Yurong, "It's Miss Guo. I didn't do anything. I just had nothing to do, so I made a few kites for Diwu Zhang and the others." Seeing the kite in Xiao Changshan's hand, Guo Yurong was also curious. He came to Xiao Changshan's side and said slowly, "Young Master Xiao, can I take a look?" Of course. While speaking, Xiao Changtian also handed the kite in his hand to Guo Yurong. When Guo Yurong saw the kite in Xiao Changshan's hand, she was also in deep thought. She could feel the evil aura lingering on the kite. However, for some reason, the evil aura on it was actually flowing away automatically. It seemed that young Master Xiao had a method to purify evil energy again. At the same time, at the entrance of the 100,000 mountains, Yan Jiang also slowly said to the fat man in front of him, "Go in and investigate that person's strength for me. Don't worry, the golden mosquito on your shoulder and your body are only complementary. As long as something happens to him, your life will also disappear." Hearing General Yan's words, the fat man did not dare to speak or get angry. He could only nod at General Yan. From the conversation between Yan Jiang and Wuxia, he could tell that Xiao Changshan's strength seemed to be beyond his imagination. If he went in like this, it would seem like he was going to be cannon fodder. Seeing the fat man's unwilling expression, General Yan slowly said to him, "As long as you can get this done, I can guarantee you. When we return, I will cleanse your bones and transform you into a member of the evil race. At that time, you will be the hero of the evil race." Hearing Yin Jiang's words, the fat man nodded at him. Given the current situation, the humans would definitely not let him off for what he had done for the evil race. It would be better to use this opportunity to cling on to the evil race's thigh. With this thought in mind, the fat man mustered up his energy and walked into the 100,000 mountains. He followed the fat man into the 100,000 mountains. Wuxia also saw Xiao Changtian on the other side of the island. He slowly said to General Yan beside him, "Lord General Yan, look, it's that." Before Wuxia could finish her words, she saw General Yan's eyes were red-ash stared at the other side of the island. Xiao Changtian was holding a giant kite in his hand, chatting and laughing with Guo Yurong. At the same time, he kept dismantling the giant kite. "Damn it, this person actually destroyed my treasure like this. I'm going to kill him, no one can stop me." As he spoke, General Yan was also prepared to attack Xiao Changtian. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Then he slowly came to the lakeside. After they got ashore, they saw that there was still no movement on the lake. The fat man heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. Perhaps he had been too paranoid just now. Then, the fat man slowly walked toward the island. At this time, Xiao Changtian and Guo Yurong also noticed the fat man on the island. Changshan's pupil shrank when he saw the fat man. Why did he remember that this fat man wasn't in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range? In the end, he was burned by the fire spat by that demon beast. Could it be that this fatty was also a cultivator? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian waved his hand at the fat man. Seeing Xiao Changtian waving at him, the fat man became nervous. Could it be that this person already knew the purpose of coming here? With this thought in mind, the fat man walked up to Xiao Changtian. "What are you doing here?" Seeing the fat man, Changtian said to him slowly. Guo Yurong also recognized the fat man. Looking at the fat man, she also felt the aura on his body that she hated. "What are you doing here?" Could it be that he was going to do something bad? Then, she walked to the fat man's side and observed him. The fat man was also staring at Guo Yurong. He was also very nervous. He stammered, "Seniors J, I'm here to thank you." "Thank you." Xiao Changtian didn't know what to say. Gratitude? He didn't seem to have helped Fatty in any way. Could it be Miss Guo? Thinking so, Xiao Changtian also looked at Guo Yurong. At this moment, The fat man realized that he was speaking incoherently. Then, he said to Xiao Changtian and Guo Yurong, "Yes, I came to thank the two of you for being able to escape from danger in the Heavenly Fire Mountain Range. It's also thanks to the help of the two of you." After he finished speaking, the fat man felt nervous. The reason why he was able to survive the Scarlet Blood Evil Dragon was all thanks to the evil race. If these two people were really like what the Lord said, if his strength was monstrous, then he should have seen through his lies in an instant. Then, the fat man saw Xiao Changtian walking towards him. Was this person going to attack him? With this thought in mind, the fat man saw Xiao Changtian pat him on the shoulder. "There are bugs." Xiao Changtian pointed at the golden mosquito planted by General Yan on the fat man's shoulder and said slowly, "It was over." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the fat man thought that Xiao Changtian had discovered his identity. At this time, Guo Yurong also saw the golden mosquito on the fat man's shoulder and said slowly, "This bug. If you want to thank someone, you should thank Miss Guo. I don't have the ability to save you. I'm not coming over. Do you want to come to the island and sit for a while?" At this moment, Xiao Changtian said to the fat man. The fat man was also a little stunned when he heard Xiao Changshan's words. Was this person inviting him to rest here? Didn't discover his identity. Xiao Changtian interrupted Guo Yurong, who was observing. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Guo Yurong frowned. He slowly said to the fat man, "That won't do. The aura on this fatty makes me feel uncomfortable. Do you want to stay here? Are you still going back?" At this moment, Guo Yurong gave the fat man a threatening smile. Hearing Guo Yurong's words, the fat man immediately said to Xiao Changtian, "No need. I'll leave now. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 679. For Demonic Beasts, One Divine Realm. Outside the 100,000 Mountains. A figure slowly emerged from the void. It was the old man who came all the way here from the Righteous Path Alliance. When he arrived at the outskirts of the 100,000 Mountains, the old man also saw the fog on the top of the mountain. His eyes paused for a moment before he flew into the 100,000 Mountains. Whoosh! The spiritual Pearl Elder's figure streaked across the valley and arrived at the back of the mountain. Roar! As soon as the Spirit Pearl Elder landed in the back mountain, he heard a furious roar. Immediately after, a huge black palm attacked him. Seeing the bear paw coming at him, the Spirit Pearl Elder smiled. Then he swung his palm and collided with the bear paw. Bang! The two palms collided, and a sound was emitted in the air. Then the spiritual Pearl Elder slowly said to the black bear, "I have no intention of becoming your enemy. One just want to pay a visit to the owner of this island." As soon as he finished speaking, the Spirit Pearl Elder pointed at the black bear, and a ring of light descended on his body. Roar! 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 The black bear was restrained by the Spiritual Pearl Elder's halo, and it let out a series of angry roars. Then, the old man smiled at the black bear and flew forward. Soon, the old man found Xiao Changtian and Guo Yurong by the lake. Seeing the two of them, the Spiritual Pearl Elder also flew towards them. The old man smiled at them as he landed in front of them. At this moment, Xiao Changtian had just sent the fat man away. When he returned to the lakeside and saw the old man from the Spiritual Pearl sect, he was also a little surprised. Why was there another person on the island? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian slowly said to the old man, "And you are?" The old man smiled at Xiao Changtian. "I'm from the Righteous Path Alliance. I have something to ask you." At this moment, the Spiritual Pearl Elder spoke to Xiao Changtian. Then, he waved his hand and took a step to the side, revealing a few demon beasts behind him. They have all suffered a certain amount of hardship. I wonder if you can save them. Xiao Changtian looked behind the old man when he heard that the old man didn't waste any words. At this moment behind the old man, there were 4. The small animals stood up slowly. Seeing these small animals, Xiao Changtian also looked at the old man suspiciously. This old man, wouldn't he use these small animals for experiments? On the far left was a wild bird, but that was all, because it was really hard to say whether it counted or not. It looked like a golden pheasant, especially its head and neck. However, upon closer inspection, he felt that this thing didn't look like it. After all, in his previous life and in the cultivation world, he had never seen a golden pheasant with uneven wings. He would consider him a deformed golden pheasant. However, beside the golden pheasant, there was another one that was even more ridiculous. It had a strong body and 4 healthy limbs. If one did not look at its head, one would think that it was a ferocious tiger. However, Xiao Changtian was speechless when he saw the head. It was a pig's head. Xiao Changtian also found it hard to imagine how this old man raised a pig to be so strong. Beside the strong pig was a small bug. In his memory, the size of a worm was smaller than the size of a fingertip. In front of Xiao Changtian, this bug was the size of a palm. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have any hostility towards him, Xiao Changtian would have thought that the person in front of him was a demonic beast. The last one was relatively normal. Its appearance was very normal. However, his mouth kept making a series of beeping sounds. It was clearly an elk, so why did it make a pig's cry? Xiao Changtian finally understood why this old man was looking for him. This old man should be a resident of the small town outside. It must be because the poultry in his house suddenly mutated and could not be sold. That was why she came to him for help. After all, ever since the plague, the residents of the town had come to him for anything. Xiao Changtian wasn't saying that it wasn't good for them to look for him. On the contrary, Xiao Changtian welcomed the townspeople to find him. After all, if the medical skills that he obtained from the system were not of any use, that would really be a pity. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian slowly said to the spiritual race elder, "Old man, wait a moment. Oh, go inside and get some props." Xiao Changtian walked into the island. It was Xiao Changshan's first time seeing the situation of these poultry. He had to go back and look at the information and find some medicinal herbs. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the spiritual pearl elder smiled at him. I'm sorry. Seeing that Xiao Changtian didn't ask about his background and wasn't surprised at all that he was here, he felt a little uneasy. It was obvious that he knew very well about his arrival here. This also made the old man more and more interested in Xiao Changshan's background. After all, there were only a few people in the human realm upon heavens who knew his identity, and those who could identify him on their first meeting were even rarer. After Xiao Changtian left, the demonic beasts on the ground slowly said to the old man, "Lingzhu, why did you bring us here? Previously, you told us that you could solve the problem of the evil qi in our bodies. Why did you come to this divine realm with thin spiritual energy? Are you making fun of us?" The demonic beasts that the Spirit Pearl Elder had brought were all from the sacred war against the evil race. A human helper who had made outstanding contributions, but was seriously injured and corroded by evil energy. He brought them here to see Xiao Changshan's ability and attitude. If Xiao Changtian was really on the side of the human race, and had the ability to heal evil energy, then he would be able to do so. Then, he should do his best to save these demon beasts. However, if he turned a deaf ear to it, it meant that Xiao Changtian wasn't 100% on the side of the human race. Xiao Changtian's stance and attitude towards the war with the evil race was extremely important to the Spirit Pearl Elder. Hearing the doubts of these demonic beasts, the old man from the Spiritual Pearl sect said to them, "Everyone, I've already brought you here. Can't you wait here?" After being haunted by evil qi for so many years, Lingzhu couldn't bear to watch anymore, so she thought of bringing you guys here. Hearing Lingzhu's words, the demon beast on the ground finally shut its mouth. He had vented his anger just now, because he felt despair after having hope. They also knew about the Spirit Pearl Elder's contributions to the human realm upon heavens over the years. Therefore, after hearing the old man's words, they all shut their mouths and waited for Xiao Changshan's return. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 680:1 Really didn't lie to you. Divine Realm. 100,000 mountains at this moment. in a cave in the valley of the 100,000 mountains. Yin Jiang and Wuxia were sitting in the cave with a group of dark soldiers. Yin Jiang sat on a rock in the cave. His face was also somewhat ashen. They had been observing the island from the outside, but a powerful aura suddenly came to the island. Yin Jiang also immediately hid in a cave in the valley, because that aura made him feel a bone-deep danger. If he did not leave quickly, he and the dark soldiers might have to stay here. However, he didn't dare to move too much, because it would increase the risk of being discovered. At this moment, in the cave, Wuxia said slowly to General Yen, "My lord, I think that human might have been discovered. I think it's time for us to find a way to escape unscathed." Wuxia naturally sensed the powerful aura that had suddenly appeared on the island. That feeling was the same as when he faced those old men from the Righteous Path Alliance. He had yet to recover from his injuries, and was no match for them. When Yin Jiang heard Wuxia's words, his face turned ashen. He patted the rock below his butt, and the entire rock exploded in midair. Bang! The rock was shattered by him, and Yin Jiang sat on the ground. Seeing General Yin fall to the ground, a few dark soldiers hurriedly walked forward. "Lord Yin Jiang, are you all right?" At this moment, the dark soldier also asked General Yin with concern. General Yin stood up from the ground in a sorry state, and waved his hand at the dark soldiers. Then the dark soldiers retreated. After arriving at the cave, he pondered deeply. He recalled that ever since he learned about the place where humans purified evil energy, he had sent Wuxin and Wuming to heavens beyond. However, not only did Wuxin and Wuming not get any information, but they also did not find out anything. They were directly silenced. There was also Wuxia who came to heavens beyond, and was directly injured. All sorts of signs had already indicated that the human race might have long hidden something unknown from the evil race. Perhaps the ability to purify evil energy that the human mentioned was the human's trump card. He had come here because he was so angry that he had lost his mind and acted on impulse. After that human went to the island, he could no longer sense the aura of the golden mosquitoes. Presumably, that human was also regarded as a traitor by them. He should be dealt with. With this thought in mind, General Yin said slowly to Wuxia, "Wuxia, you're right. It's time for us to think of our own way out. Otherwise, we might really have to stay here today. That would be a great loss for our clan. It will also be an extremely unfavorable influence on our future attacks here." Wuxia saw that Flame General had regained his calm and wise appearance, and she heaved a sigh of relief. Following which, he nodded at General Yen and slowly said, "Lord Yin Jiang, I think you can let me attract their attention first. Then you can take everyone and leave this place. I'll meet you guys later." Hearing Wuxia's words, Yin Jiang immediately stopped him. "No, Wuxia, you are injured and I cannot let you take the risk." Then, he patted Wuxia's chest and said slowly, "Oh, go attract them." "My lord, you can't. You are our commander. We have no way to explain to the higher-ups." At this moment, Wuxia spoke slowly to General Yen. Hearing Wuxia's words, General Yen did not know why, but he felt that something was off. So this guy was worried that the higher-ups would blame him. Thinking of this, Yin Jiang wanted to say something. He heard a noise from the dark soldiers outside. "Sir, that human has returned." Hearing the dark soldier's words, Yin Jiang was also stunned for a moment, and then he looked at Wuxia. They saw the disbelief in each other's eyes. According to their speculations, that humans should not be able to return. Then, the two of them seemed to have thought of something and said to the dark soldier, "Let's get in." Following that, under the lead of the dark soldiers, the fat man was also slowly brought before Wuxia and Yin Jiang. Seeing the fat man in front of him, General Yin took the lead and said to him, "You're back. Did you find out anything?" The fat man looked at Yin Jiang and Wuxia above him and said solemnly to them, "That person is just an ordinary person." Following that, the fat man told Yin Jiang and Wuxia everything that had happened on the island. As he spoke, the fat man had a smile on his face. As soon as he finished speaking, he saw General Yin suddenly shoot out from his seat. Arriving in front of the fat man, General Yin also lifted his clothes and slowly said to him, "Are you serious? Don't tell me you are trying to trick me into going over to die." Seeing Yin Jiang's vicious expression, The fat man was also very frightened in his heart. No, no sir, my lord, please be wise. What I said is true. At this moment, the fat man also felt like crying. Then, he seemed to have thought of something and slowly said to General Yen, "Didn't Milord plant a bug in my body? Milord can investigate." Hearing the fat man's self-saving words, General Yen threw him onto the ground. "Then let me see if what you said is true. If you dare to lie to me, you know the consequences." According to his previous deduction, how could this human come back alive? After all, did Wuxia and Wuming commit suicide? In General Yan's eyes, the fat man was just struggling on his deathbed. As soon as he finished speaking, General Yan's hand emitted a ray of light at the fat man. Then the fat man felt like vomiting. A golden bug flew out of his mouth. The golden bug flew to General Yan's palm and sensed the information transmitted from it. Yen Jiang also frowned slightly. Wuxia saw his frown. She also came to his side and slowly said to him, "Milord, what's wrong? It seems like that person is really an ordinary person." At this moment, Yen Jiang said to Wuxia in shock. He had sent the golden bug into the fat man's body to monitor him. The fat man might have deceived him, but the golden bug definitely wouldn't. Then, General Yin thought of something and said to Wuxia slowly, "Wuxia, I understand now. That person only has a powerful magic tool. I'll go over and kill it now. I'll snatch his Dharma artifact and increase the combat strength of our evil race. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 681. Really hypocritical. 1 Divine Realm. Within the 100,000 mountains. After Yin Jiang spoke to Wuxia, he was about to walk out. According to what Wuxia had told him, that person had a powerful longsword in his hand. It was probably because of that long sword that Wuxia and Wuming had fallen in his hands. However, he was different. He had the evil weapon given by his lord in his hands. It could block the attacks of all immortal artifacts. Moreover, that person was able to purify evil energy, which was very likely related to that long sword. He wanted to kill the old man before the sword fell into the hands of the old man from the righteous path. Snatching it into his own hands could be said to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Not only did they obtain the most powerful celestial artifact of the human race, but they also greatly increased the strength of the evil race. With this thought in mind, General Yen walked out of the cave and headed towards the island. Wuxia saw Flame General leave and felt that something was not right. However, he couldn't tell where exactly it was. He could only let General Yen go out. Then, the dark soldier in the cave waved his hand. The dark soldiers brought the fat man and followed General Yen out. Yen Jiang came to the lakeside and leaped high into the air. Then he released the evil aura from his body. A monstrous evil aura exploded in the air. Evil breaking 10,000 void. Flame General was wearing battle armor, and his entire body was covered in flames. Then the flames on his body swayed. A huge palm of evil flames formed in the air and attacked the island. General Yin was confident that if he struck first, he could definitely sink the entire island. At that time, he would slowly search for that sword. The corner of General Yan's mouth curled into a proud smile when he saw the huge flaming palm. He had never felt so good ever since he came to heavens beyond. On the island, the old man from the spiritual pearl sat by the lake, waiting for Xiao Changtian to return. The fire in the sky will appear in that moment, and it will also be a monstrous evil. So the evil race had all come here. Beside the old man, the 4 demonic beasts felt the evil aura in the air. They were also furious. These evil auras could be said to be their greatest enemies in their lives. At this moment, the spiritual pearl elder slowly said to the demonic beast beside him, "You guys wait here." Then he pointed at the flaming palm in the air. Whoosh! The moment the spirit pearl elder attacked, the entire space froze. Then, spatial cracks appeared in the space and swallowed the entire flaming palm. In midair, Yin Jiang's pupils constricted when he saw his flaming palm being absorbed. Then, he saw the figure of the old man from the spiritual pearl sect below. Was this the old man from the Righteous Alliance? And the strongest one, That's right, Ling Zhu was indeed the strongest person in the entire Righteous Tao Alliance, and also the #1 person in the human realm upon heavens. Yin Jiang didn't expect that there would be an old man on this island. Without any hesitation, he turned around and flew out of the 100,000 mountains. With his strength, staying here was simply sending his head away. Seeing that Yin Jiang wanted to leave, the old man shook his head. Then, he raised his hand and clenched his fist in the direction where General Yin had left. Then Yin Jiang, who was in midair, felt the world around him spin. In a short while, he arrived in front of the spiritual Pearl Elder. Looking at General Yin in front of him, the old man from Lingzhou said slowly, "The evil race is getting more and more arrogant." Arriving in front of the spiritual Pearl Elder, General Yin knew that he would not be able to escape today. Looking at the spiritual Pearl Elder, Yin Jiang laughed out loud and said, "Lingzhou, I didn't expect you to set this up. I lost this time. Use whatever methods you have. You humans will eventually be conquered and enslaved by the evil race." Hearing Yin Jiang's words, the old man from Lingzhou slowly said to him, "I don't want to talk about this. Tell me, what is your purpose here?" The old man was also very interested in Yin Jiang, coming to such a lower realm. "What are you doing here? Don't you understand? You set up this trap yourself, and you still have the cheek to ask me? Humans are really hypocritical. Come destroy me." Just like the old man, General Yin was also very interested in methods that could purify evil energy. He didn't want to die without knowing why. At this moment, he understood why the fat man dared to let him investigate the golden bugs. With the spiritual pearl's abilities, it was not impossible to avoid the golden insect's detection. He could only say that he had been careless. The old man shook his head after hearing Yin Jiang's words. "To deal with you, I still need to set up a trap. You really think too highly of yourself. Cut the crap. What are you doing here? Otherwise, don't blame me for searching your soul." At this moment, the old Lingzhou threatened General Yin. Hearing the old man's words, Yin Jiang seemed to be a little disdainful. He said to him, "As you wish." This old man was still pretending. He wanted to see what he was up to. At this moment, the spiritual Pearl Elder also arrived in front of General Yin. He pressed down on General Yan's head and injected a stream of true essence into his head. He could sense that the old man was really going to search his soul. Yin Jiang was also a little stunned. The important memories of the evil race had been sealed in everyone's minds. It was impossible for this spiritual pearl not to know that it would not have any effect on him if he searched his soul. Instead, it would consume his spiritual power. At this moment, the old man from the spiritual pearl sect had also gone through the matters related to Yin Jiang. Then his heart shook. Firstly, there were actually 2 people from the evil race who had snuck into heavens beyond, and they actually did not notice it. It seemed that the evil race's methods of hiding their auras were getting more and more advanced. Secondly, he was surprised by Xiao Changtian. He had carefully sensed Xiao Changshan's aura, but he didn't feel any. He did not expect to have a divine weapon in his hand that could purify evil qi. Yin Jiang could be said to have solved all the doubts that the old man from the Spirit Pearl sect had. At this moment, Xiao Changtian had become the target that the spiritual Jewel Elder wanted to rope in at all costs. That was because purifying evil energy was a crucial factor in the war between the humans and the evil races. At this moment, the Spirit Pearl Elder also sensed something and looked to the side. Xiao Changtian was slowly walking towards them. At the same time, General Yan's gaze was also focused on Xiao Changtian. "Old man, I mixed some medicine. I don't know if it's useful for you. Right now I can only try." In the distance, Xiao Changtian saw the old man from the spiritual pearl and waved his hand at him. "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 682. Looking down on others, dying to be an evil race. 1. Divine Realm, 100,000 Mountains. On the island, the spiritual Pearl Elder heard Xiao Changshan's words and said slowly, "Thank you, Senior." If he had any misgivings about Xiao Changtian, then he would have been able to do it. But now, it could be said that it was completely unannounced, just based on what General Yin saw in his mind. Xiao Changtian was enough for him to call him senior. Xiao Changtian smiled at the spiritual pearl elder. Don't be happy too early. I just made these medicines. We'll have to see how effective it is. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Changtian took the medicine bottle in his hand and slowly walked in front of the 4 demonic beasts. He sprinkled the medicinal powder on their bodies one by one, and waves of black qi rose from the 4 demon beasts' bodies one by one. The 4 beasts didn't have any hope for Xiao Changtian. After the medicinal powder entered his body, he could feel the changes in his body. They looked at each other in shock. The evil aura on their bodies seemed to be slowly dissipating. The evil aura that had troubled them for many years and had never been resolved seemed to be leaving them. The 4 demon beasts saw joy and disbelief in each other's eyes. Then, he looked at Xiao Changtian in front of him, and his expression changed drastically. They had accepted Xiao Changshan's medicinal powder, just now, perhaps because of the old man with the spiritual pearls. Now they no longer looked at Xiao Changtian with contempt. What replaced it was deep respect. This person was the blessing of the human race. Could it be that the war with the evil race was finally about to usher in a turning point? With this thought in mind, the 4 demonic beasts knelt down in front of Xiao Changtian. This was the only way to express their apology to Xiao Changtian and their gratitude to him for saving their lives. Xiao Changtian looked at the 4 beasts and said, "Don't move around. Otherwise the effects of the medicine might not be good." At this moment, Xiao Changtian said to the 4 beasts. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the 4 demonic beasts were touched and stopped what they were doing. This senior clearly did not take the previous matter to heart, and was still taking such care of them. Previously, the 4 of them had really looked down on others. Thinking of this, Pheasant and the others could not help but shed tears. They had lived for man years, and it had been a long time since they had shed tears. He did not expect that it was actually on an island in the lower realm. Xiao Changtian looked at the 4 demonic beasts and placed his hand on his chin. Could it be that the medicinal powder he had just concocted was too sour and spicy, causing them to shed tears? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian picked up the bottle in his hand and sniffed it. There was no problem. Could it be that there was sand in his eyes? However, there was no sandstorm today. Xiao Changtian couldn't think of a reason for this, so he turned to the old man and said, "Old man, you stay here and watch them. If anything happens, just let me know. I'll go and improve this medicine. Perhaps the effect will be better." Xiao Changtian wanted to go back and find out the reason why the poultry was crying. Otherwise, if the old man's poultry's original illness was not cured, it would be too late. If he made other illnesses out of it, he would have let him down. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the 4 demonic beasts were touched. Better effect. From Senior's words, he was dissatisfied with the slow speed at which this medicinal powder was expelling the evil energy from their bodies. Indeed, when the evil aura left their bodies, they could not help but feel a pain because of the evil aura that had plagued them for many years. Senior hastened the speed of expelling the evil energy, obviously not wanting to let him suffer so much pain. Senior is really a good person. Beside the old man, Yan Jiang saw Xiao Changtian and the 4 beasts on the ground. As an evil race general who had participated in the Holy War before, he naturally knew what status those 4 demonic beasts had in the human race. They had once brought a lot of trouble to the evil race. It could even be said that the reason why the evil race had not taken down the human realm upon heavens for so long was that they had been fighting for the human realm upon heavens for so long. To a large extent, it was also related to these demon beasts. He did not expect to see them here today. However, he remembered that in the last holy war, they were all injured by the powerful beings of the evil race. Why was the evil aura on their bodies disappearing bit by bit? Looking at Xiao Changtian in front of them, these 4 demonic beasts were the seniors of the human race. However, this human did not show any respect to them. On the contrary, the 4 demonic beasts looked at the young man with a trace of respect. Could it be that General Yin had also thought of something at this moment? He looked at the old man beside him who had just searched his soul. There was also the way the young people addressed Ling Zhu after they appeared. All of this seemed to indicate that the human race seemed to have a higher leader than Ling Zhu and the others. When he thought of this, Yin Jiang's heart also suffered a huge blow. Before this, the evil races had unanimously believed that the highest leader of the human race was the Righteous Path Alliance they had formed. He did not expect that there would be a leader above the Spiritual Pearl Elder, who was the highest leader of the Righteous Path Alliance. And this person seemed to have the means to purify the evil energy of their evil race. Incredible, incredible. Thinking of Wuxia and Wuming, General Yin seemed to have explained everything. If Wuxia and Wuming died in the hands of a human, it would make a lot of sense. Could it be that Wuxia had vomited blood upon seeing this person's sword? Obviously, this person's realm had reached the point where he could hit a bull from afar. As he thought about this, General Yin also stared at Xiao Changtian. He didn't leave for even a second, as if he wanted to carve Xiao Changshan's figure into his mind. She had delicate features and a graceful bearing. She was dressed in green and looked extraordinary. Was this the image of those human cultivators? General Yin recited Xiao Changshan's image in his mind and looked around. Although he knew that there was little hope for him to leave this place today. However, it was no longer important whether he left or not. The most important thing was to spread the news that a young and powerful leader had appeared in the human race. After all, this concerned the life and death of the entire evil race. With this thought in mind, General Yin became more and more determined in his thoughts. He also continuously cheered himself up in his heart. General Yin, you have the responsibility and mission to spread this news. The evil race is the end of your life. Born in the evil race, dead for the evil race. After giving himself some chicken soup in his heart, Yin Jiang also tried his best to break free from the restraints that the Spiritual Pearl Elder had placed on him. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 683. Are you sure you don't know how to deal with it? 1 Divine Realm, 100,000 Mountains. Yin Jiang gathered the remaining evil qi on his body and tried to break through the seal that the old man had placed on him. At the same time, the old man also felt the change in Yin Jiang. His hand gestures changed and suppressed Yin Jiang. Then, the Spiritual Pearl Elder slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, this is..." Before the Spiritual Pearl Elder could finish his sentence, he saw Xiao Changtian waving his hand at him. "I know. Just deal with it as you see fit. I won't get involved." Xiao Changtian knew what the old man wanted to say. This old man, when he came here with the medicine, he saw the old man lecturing him from afar. It was obvious that the younger generation of this old man knew that this old man had come here alone. She was a little worried about him, but this old man still looked a little stubborn. He didn't seem to be particularly satisfied with his junior's concern for him. However, these were all family matters. It was better to let them eliminate them internally. As an outsider, he would not interfere. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also planned to walk towards his room. When the Spiritual Pearl Elder heard Xiao Changshan's words, he was also shocked, but he quickly reacted. With Senior's strength, there was no need for him to say anything. He would definitely know what this evil race was doing on this island. After all, Senior had just dealt with 2 evil beings not long ago. However, he did not have any means to deal with the evil aura of the evil race. With this thought in mind, the Spiritual Pearl Elder slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, wait a moment." Xiao Changtian didn't walk far when he heard the old man calling him. He turned around and said slowly, "What's wrong, old man?" "Senior, to be honest, I don't know how to deal with it either." At this moment, the Spiritual Pearl Elder spoke to Xiao Changtian. He also hoped that Xiao Changtian could tell him something about how to deal with the evil energy. Xiao Changtian heard the old man's words and looked at him suspiciously. The Spiritual Pearl Elder felt a little uncomfortable being watched by Xiao Changtian. He slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, is there a problem?" Xiao Changtian heard the old man's words and said, "Old man, are you sure you don't know how to deal with this?" This old man looked to be in his 70s or 80s. At this age, she should have grandchildren. Now she was telling him that she did not know how to deal with her relationship with the younger generation. Come on, even an old man in his 70s or 80s doesn't know. I'm a young man in my 20s, right? Xiao Changtian suddenly realized that he didn't understand the old man's thoughts. The old man nodded at Xiao Changtian after hearing his words. At the same time, her face was a little red. She was obviously a little embarrassed. Speaking of which, after so many years, the Righteous Path Alliance had not developed a way to deal with evil qi. They should indeed feel ashamed. With this thought in mind, the spiritual elder also said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, this old man is indeed guilty. I didn't find a good way to deal with it." Hearing the old man's words, and looking at the old man's expression, Xiao Changtian was sure that this old man wasn't lying to him. Then, Xiao Changtian said to the spiritual pearl elder, "Since you insist on asking me, I can only tell you this." As he spoke, Xiao Changtian also found a pointer from somewhere. Xiao Changtian handed the pointer to the old man and said slowly, "Fighting won't yield a result. It's better to give people more opportunities. In the end, there might be unexpected gains." After saying that, Xiao Changtian also went to his room. The spiritual pearl elder looked at the direction Xiao Changtian left, and then looked at the pointer in his hand. He could feel a holy aura from this pointer, and this aura seemed to be the aura that purified evil energy. However, from what Senior had just said, it seemed that he wanted to give this evil race a chance and not destroy him. Could it be that Senior's intention was to let this heretic go back? It would become a method left behind by the human race in the evil race. It would be of great use when the holy war started in the future. With this thought in mind, the spiritual pearl elder also looked at the direction Xiao Changtian had left. Senior is really far-sighted. This old man is really ashamed of such a scheme. Then, the spiritual pearl elder walked up to Yin Jiang. "Lingzhu, what do you want? If you want to kill me, kill me. I won't yield." Yin Jiang had been trying to break free from the evil energy since just now. However, during this process, he could also feel the suppression of the old man with the spiritual pearl. Clearly, General Yin had also thrown away his broken jar and laid his cards on the table with the old man from the spiritual pearl sect. The old man shook his head when he heard Yin Jiang's words. "Since you want to leave, I'll let you leave." As he spoke, the old man also pointed at General Yan's forehead. Then, Yin Jiang felt that all the seals on him had been lifted. Sensing the changes in his body, Yin Jiang also felt that it was unreal. This spiritual pearl let him off just like that? With this thought in mind, Yin Jiang slowly said to the old man, "Spiritual pearl elder, although I don't know what tricks you have up your sleeve, you will regret it." Before General Yin could finish his sentence, he saw the old man holding a large amount of true essence in his hand. His palm was placed on his forehead. Then, Yin Jiang felt that he had lost control of his body. "It doesn't matter if you don't know. I'll tell you now." The old man from the spiritual pearl sect looked at General Yin in front of him and slowly said, "This old man has received Senior's enlightenment today, and has already decided to let you play a greater role. Stop resisting." Yin Jiang seemed to have realized something after hearing the old man's words. Then, he quickly mobilized the evil qi in his body to resist the old man with the spiritual pearl. This spiritual bead wanted to change his memories. "It's useless." Seeing Yin Jiang's fierce opening, the old man also took the pointer given by Xiao Changtian. He whipped Yin Jiang. Pa! With a crisp sound in the air, the evil qi that General Yin had just mobilized was purified. "Lingzhu Yu." Seeing the pointer in the spiritual pearl elder's hand, a trace of fear appeared in General Yan's eyes. Following that in General Yan's terrified eyes, the memories in his mind kept changing. In the end, the spiritual pearl elder also pushed Yin Jiang into the air. Then he muttered something, and Yin Jiang slowly opened his eyes. When Yin Jiang saw the old man, he flew out of the 100,000 mountains without looking back. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 684. giving Lingzhu a show of strength. 1 divine realm, 100,000 mountains. In the air, Yanjiang looked at the island behind him. He heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. Fortunately, he ran fast. He did not expect that the person on that island was actually that old man Lingzhu. After the old man changed his memory, Yanjiang only remembered that he was going to the island. As for what happened on the island, he did not remember anything. With this thought in his heart, Yanjiang quickly came to Wuxia and the others. Wuxia looked at General Yan and said to him, "Sir, how is it? Did you find anything?" Wuxia's words were filled with worry. It had been a long time since Yanjiang had left for the island. He could not find out the situation on the island. If General Yan did not return, he planned to go over and check it out personally. Seeing that Yanjiang was safe and sound, Wuxia heaved a sigh of relief. Arriving at Wuxia's side, General Yan said to the dark soldier, "Where's that human? Bring him here." When the dark soldiers heard General Yan's words, they did not dare to be negligent. He immediately pulled the fat man in front of General Yan. Seeing the fat man, General Yan also lifted him up from the ground. Sir, what's wrong?" Seeing the aggressive General Yan, the fat man was also very afraid. Yanjiang laughed coldly when he heard the fat man's words. He slowly said to the fat man, "Human this time, I will not give you any chance to quibble." As he spoke, a flame lit up in General Yan's hand. Then, the flame spread from General Yan's palm to the fat man's entire body. Aha! Amidst a series of miserable cries, the fat man was also burned to ashes by Yanjiang. After dealing with the fat man, General Yan wiped his palms. Clearly, the anger in his heart had not dissipated. At this moment, Wuxia also asked General Yan in confusion, "Sir, what's wrong with this human?" "I'll tell you when we get back. There's no time to lose. Take the dark soldiers, and leave this place with me quickly. If that old man Lingzhu finds us, we might not be able to leave." At this moment, General Yan's words revealed a trace of anxiety. When Wuxia heard Yanjiang's words, she was shocked. Spirit Pearl Elder, that old man from the Righteous Tao Alliance? At the thought of this, Wuxia realized the seriousness of the matter, and left with the dark soldiers and General Yan. On the island, the old man from the Spiritual Pearl sect looked at the direction where Yanjiang and the others had left. A wise light flashed across his eyes. After arriving at the island, the old man felt that his thoughts had broadened a lot. And all of this was thanks to Senior's guidance. At the same time, Xiao Changtian came to the lakeside with the newly concocted medicinal powder. "Old man, this is my new concoction. Let's try again." While speaking, Xiao Changtian also looked in the direction of the 4 demonic beasts. At this moment, the 4 demon beasts seemed to have returned to normal. When the Spiritual Pearl Elder heard Xiao Changshan's words, he also looked at the 4 demonic beasts. They had all been cured by Senior. After Xiao Changtian left, the 4 beasts also used their own strength to recover quickly with the help of Xiao Changshan's medicinal powder. After recovering, they also received a voice transmission from the ancestral dragon and the others. He knew that Xiao Changtian was cultivating his heart in the mortal world, and didn't like to see their true forms. Therefore, they all looked at Xiao Changtian like normal poultry. Seeing that the 4 demonic beasts had returned to normal, Xiao Changtian said to the Spiritual Pearl Elder, "Since they've all recovered, you can take this for yourself. Perhaps it will be useful in the future." Seeing the powder in Xiao Changshan's hand, the Spiritual Pearl Elder was touched. Knowing that the Righteous Path Alliance did not have any methods to deal with the evil energy, Senior gave him all kinds of treasures. After returning, he would also discuss with the others to see how to invite Senior to be the alliance leader. Then, Xiao Changtian exchanged a few words with the old man from Lingzhu. The old man led the 4 demonic beasts towards the Righteous Tao Alliance. After all, as one of the active guardians of the array, the old man could not leave the alternate dimension for too long. In a dark palace of the evil race, General Yan sat on top of the palace and looked at the dark soldiers below. "Wuxia, how are our losses on this trip to heavens beyond?" When Wuxia heard Yanjiang's words, she also walked out from the group of dark soldiers. He slowly said to General Yan, "Besides Wuxin and Nameless, We also lost a few dark soldiers. But overall there are still no major losses. Very good. Hearing Wuxia's words, General Yin slowly said. Then he stood up from his seat. I've thought a lot about this trip to heavens beyond. Didn't that human tell you about a little girl? I thought about it, and felt that he should be the same as that human. He should be a spy that the spiritual pearl nurtured to infiltrate our evil race. Speaking up to this point, General Yin was also a little cold. Therefore, I want you to go and take care of that little girl. It can also be considered as a show of strength for Lingzhu. Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia nodded at him. Then, General Yin waved his hand towards the outside of the palace, and a few figures dressed in black walked in. The Black Shadow held a jade box in his hand, and handed it to Wuxia. Wuxia, this is the soul-chasing needle I got from the clan. I hope it will be useful to you. When Wuxia heard Yin Jiang's words, she felt a surge of excitement in her heart. Then he slowly took the jade box from the Black Shadow. The soul-chasing needle was very famous in the evil race and beyond Avalon. This was because this soul-chasing needle had once killed a creation immortal and severely injured a ruler. Even the heavens will of the realm upon heavens was very wary of this soul-chasing needle. With this soul pursuit needle, Wuxia felt that her operation this time should be stable. Following the soul-chasing needle, Wuxia immediately said to General Yin, "Don't worry, my lord. I will definitely complete the mission and avenge Wuxin and Wuming." Seeing Wuxia's confident look, General Yin waved his hand at him. Following that, Wuxia brought the soul-catching needle and rushed to the human realm upon heavens once again. At the same time, in the Righteous Path Alliance, the white-browed elder and the others were also very shocked when they saw the 4 demon beasts recover. Over the years, they had tried many ways to save them. However, none of them had any effect. They did not expect Lingzhu to bring them out for a trip and recover so quickly. The white-browed elder looked at the spiritual pearl elder and slowly said, "Lingzhu, what happened on your trip? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 685. Divine Beast Shakes 1 Divine Realm, 100,000 Mountains. Senior, the people from the Li family are here. They said that you haven't finished taking some mines last time, and want you to go over. In Xiao Changshan's room, the great sun immortal said to Xiao Changtian slowly, "Oh Taoist big sun, if you hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten about it. Last time, Li Xiaofeng asked me to go to their ancestral land to find the black ice crystal." Xiao Changtian also thought of something when he heard the words of the great sun immortal. The last time he went to the Li family's dinner, the Li family's head gave him a pile of materials. He even said that he would go to their ancestral land to get the black ice crystals next time. After a period of time, he had almost forgotten about this matter. At this moment, Guo Yurong walked out from the side. "Senior, why don't you let me go in your place? I happen to have some things to do over there." Guo Yurong had been on the island for some time, but she had not returned to the Montenegro Forbidden District to check. He wondered how the Montenegro Forbidden Zone had changed after the Bat Demon was defeated. Xiao Changtian nodded at Guo Yurong. "In that case, they'll have to trouble Miss Guo." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Guo Yurong also walked out of the 100,000 Mountains. At the same time, on the outskirts of the 100,000 Mountains, Li Feng had already prepared a carriage and was waiting for Xiao Changshan's arrival. Seeing Guo Yurong's figure, he walked up to her and said slowly, "Miss Guo, where is Senior? Senior has something on, so he won't go with you." "Oh, go with you." Guo Yurong looked at Li Feng and said slowly to him. Guo Yurong did not stand on ceremony. She got into Li Feng's carriage and headed towards the barbaric heaven. After Li Feng heard Guo Yurong's words, he looked in the direction of the 100,000 Mountains. He hesitated for a moment before bringing Guo Yurong to the Li family's house. At the same time, in a void in the Heavenly Fire Mountain range, Wuxia's figure slowly appeared in the void, and her spiritual sense spread out in all directions. After a while, Wuxia's lips curled into a smile. With a flash he stepped into the void. Soon, Wuxia arrived at the void above Li Feng's carriage, and slowly took out the soul pursuit needle. Then, he fired it in the direction of the carriage. Whoosh! The soul-chasing needle flew out and attacked the carriage. At the same time on the island, Li Feng hurriedly walked into the 100,000 mountains. Arriving at the lakeside, Li Feng shouted to the other side of the island. "Senior, something bad has happened to Miss Gua." Xiao Changtian was standing by the lake in a daze. He looked at Li Feng, and felt a little confused. Why was little Fengzi still here? Then, Xiao Changtian also steered the boat, and slowly walked to the opposite side. "What's wrong?" Xiao Changtian said slowly to Li Feng as they arrived at the lakeside. "Senior, something bad has happened to Miss Gua. We were attacked on the way back." At this moment, Li Feng said to Xiao Changtian anxiously, "Hurry up and come over to take a look." Hearing Li Feng's words, Xiao Changtian was also nervous. He came to Li Feng's side. He also saw Gua Yurong, who was bleeding on top of the carriage. Seeing this scene, Xiao Changtian didn't say anything, and went to stop Gua Yurong's bleeding. After helping to stop the bleeding, Xiao Changtian carried Gua Yurong on his back, and walked to the other side of the island. "Senior, not good." On Xiao Changshan's back, Gua Yurong said weakly to Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian heard Gua Yurong's words and said to her, "Miss Gua, you're relatively weak. Don't speak yet. I'll check on you first." The mouth said so, and Xiao Changtian also took Gua Yurong to his room. After checking Gua Yurong's injuries, Xiao Changtian finally stabilized them. After he was done, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Li Feng, "Little Feng, what happened? Tell me." Hearing Xiao Changshan's angry words, Li Feng told Xiao Changtian everything they had encountered on the way. After hearing Li Feng's words, Xiao Changshan's face darkened. At this moment, Li Feng also took out a piece of paper from his pocket. He handed it to Xiao Changtian and said slowly, "Senior, this is what that person left behind." Xiao Changtian took the note from Li Feng's hand, and his expression changed. There were a few big words written on it: Soul Sealer Wuxia. Xiao Changtian kept the note into his space ring and said angrily, "Xiao Fengzi, help me take care of Miss Gua." Xiao Changtian didn't wait for Li Feng's reply. He walked out and followed Xiao Changshan's footsteps. Boom, boom, boom. In the sky above the island, waves of thunder and lightning slowly appeared. At the bottom of the lake, the black water dragon was hiding in a corner, looking up at the sky in fear. It was as if something terrible was about to happen. At the bottom of the lake, the ancestral dragon found a corner, and circled around like the blackwater dragon. "Senior ancestral dragon, what happened?" At this moment, the black flood dragon said slowly to the ancestral dragon. Seeing that the ancestral dragon seemed to be a little afraid, he was not confident either. What exactly happened that even senior ancestral dragon felt fear? "Xiao Hei, you still don't know this. I also don't know who offended Master. Since we've known each other for so long, I'm telling you, you'd better stay here and don't move." At the same time, in the back mountain of the island, Black Tortoise commanded the fat Rongrong to hide in a corner of the Montenegro. "Old Turtle, why did you come to my place?" In the corner, White Tiger also mocked Black Tortoise. "I saw the Black Bear sneaking around here, and came over to take a look." In the corner, Black Bear was also a little dumbfounded when he heard Black Tortoise's words. Didn't he follow Senior White Tiger here? Why was he acting so sneaky? However, after seeing the gaze of Black Tortoise and the fat Rongrong, the Black Bear didn't dare to resist. What a joke! Could he afford to offend those two? Moreover, even these few people were so afraid. Clearly, something extraordinary had happened. Old Turtle, stop bullying Black Bear. Let's see what Master's instructions are. Ancestral Dragon and the Old Hen have also gone to inform them. At this moment, in the void behind the mountain, Alpha, the Chaos Ant, and the Divine Monkey slowly appeared. Following their appearance, the group of divine beasts gathered together. And below the group of divine beasts, the fat Rongrong, the Black Bear, and the Blackwater Dragon were all shivering. The divine beast formation above them was terrifying. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 686. I do like to see how you threaten my life. 1. In a dark palace of the evil race. Wuxia, how did it go? General Yin sat on a chair above the palace and looked at Wuxia as he spoke slowly. When Wuxia heard General Yan's words, she cupped her fists at him and said slowly, Lord Flame General, fortunately, we didn't fail our mission. That little girl has already been hit by the soul-chasing needle. I don't think I have long to live. Ha ha ha. Hearing Wuxia's report, General Yin laughed out loud. Following that, he stood up from his seat and walked towards Wuxia. He came to Wuxia's side and patted Wuxia's shoulder, saying slowly to him, Wuxia, well done. I will report your achievements to the higher-ups. When Wuxia heard Yin Jiang's words, she said slowly to him, Thank you for your praise, my lord. I wonder what that old fellow Ling Zhu will do when he finds out that this little girl has been killed by our evil race. What's your expression like? It should be very interesting. It's to let those humans see that our evil race is invincible. As he said that, General Yin also walked out of the hall. At the same time, in the 100,000 mountains, a group of divine beasts floated in the back of the mountain. They looked at the great sun immortal in front of them and said to him slowly, Taoist big sun, how is it? What did Master say? After gathering together, they discussed with each other and finally asked the great sun immortal to help them gather information. After all, they knew that only Taoist big sun had a good relationship with Xiao Changtian. Upon hearing the words of the divine beasts, the great sun immortal hesitated for a moment. Senior didn't say much. He just said that he wanted to kill a few people. Master wants to kill? I'll help Master solve the problem. After the great sun immortal finished speaking, the divine monkey at the side was also eager to give it a try and said slowly to him, Damned monkey, I'll go with you. Who dares to offend Master? I'll skin him alive. At this moment, Black Tortoise also started to talk to the divine monkey. The chaos ant also stood up when it saw the excitement of the divine monkey and the black tortoise. He slowly said to everyone, Monkey turtle, don't be anxious. Let Taoist big sun finish what he has to say. After the chaos ant finished speaking, the great sun immortal told them about his conversation with Xiao Changtian. To be honest, that was the first time he saw Xiao Changtian like that. After receiving the orders from these divine beasts, the great sun immortal also went to find Xiao Changtian. However, Xiao Changshan's face was gloomy during the few minutes he was with him. He didn't say anything. This was something that the great sun immortal had never done before. Seeing Xiao Changtian like that, the great sun immortal felt even more pressured. When he almost couldn't withstand Xiao Changshan's pressure, he heard Xiao Changtian say to him, Perfected De Yang, can you help me kill a few people? After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the great sun immortal was also shocked. Miss Gua has been seriously injured by someone, and it is unknown whether she is dead or alive. However, I hope that the great sun immortal can catch the murderer and bring his head here. At that time, Xiao Changshan's tone was something that the great sun immortal would never forget. The coldness in those words could be said to be about to destroy the entire world. While Xiao Changtian was speaking, there was a series of thunder in the sky. As if everything was the will of the heavenly Tao, the great sun immortal quickly agreed. After hearing the words of the great sun immortal, the chaos ant and the others nodded. So that was how it was. When Gua Yurong and the others met him before, they had an inexplicable sense of familiarity with him. Now that they heard the news of her being attacked, they were also very angry. Moreover, it was Xiao Changshan's will to avenge Gua Yurong. At this time, Phoenix also slowly said to everyone, Leave that evil race Wuxia to me. I promise to burn him to ashes. After the Phoenix finished speaking, the other divine beasts also voiced their voices, wanting to help Xiao Changtian. At this moment, the chaos ant slowly said to the others, I can understand everyone's feelings, but it's not good for so many of us to leave Master's side. And all of you want to go. How about this? Leave this matter to me. I'll get someone else to do it for us. The chaos ant had always been by Xiao Changshan's side, so it was the most familiar with Xiao Changtian. After speaking, the group of divine beasts would also listen to his suggestion. Chaos ants, who do you plan to send for us? At this moment, Alpha said slowly to the chaos ant. Upon hearing Alpha's words, the chaos ant also looked into the distance. Righteous Path Alliance. Didn't they want Master's method to purify the evil energy? It was a good opportunity for them to see how important their master was to them. Hearing the chaos ant's words, the divine beasts looked at each other and nodded at the chaos ant. If no one has any objections, then this matter is decided. As soon as he finished speaking, a silver glow flashed on the chaos ant's body. Then its figure left the divine world. At the same time, in the alternate dimension where the Righteous Tao Alliance was located, the white-browed elder and the others sat around the array. Then the elders opened their eyes. He looked in a direction of the alternate dimension and saw a tiny spatial rift slowly appearing there. What happened? Could it be that the evil race is invading? At this moment, Man Tian slowly said to the others. The others were also looking at the spatial crack warily. The method to enter this place was controlled by the few of them. Without their permission, it was impossible for others to find the spatial coordinates, let alone enter this place. This was the first time they had seen a spatial rift appear in an alternate dimension. Could it be an evil race invasion? The white-browed elder looked at the spatial rift and muttered. When the Spirit Pearl Elder heard the white-browed elder's words, he looked at the array and shook his head. Seeing that the spatial crack was getting bigger and bigger, the old man from the Spiritual Pearl sect also led a group of elders to attack. He injected his true essence into the spatial rift. This is not a place you can come to. You should leave quickly to avoid hurting your life. The grand array did not change, which meant that it was not an evil race. Then it was a human race's powerhouse. The old man still cherished the human powerhouses very much. It was likely that some human expert had found this place and thought that it was some mystic realm, so he wanted to come in and investigate. At this moment, a dignified voice slowly came from the spatial crack. Master has treated you with great kindness, but you treat him like this. I want to see how you threaten my life. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 687. Advancing to the Evil Race 1. In the alternate dimension, the Righteous Path Alliance. The expressions of the Spirit Pearl Elder and the others changed when they heard the dignified voice from the spatial rift. The white-browed old man also shouted at the spatial crack. What nonsense are you talking about? When I was in heavens beyond, you were still in your mother's womb. After the white-browed old man finished speaking, they clearly felt the spatial rift grow larger and larger. Soon it would be out of their control. Sensing the other party's strength, the white-browed old man exchanged glances with the others and slowly said to them, "Increase your strength." After the white-browed old man finished speaking, the others also increased the true chi they injected into the front. Bang! At this moment, a powerful spatial aura attacked from the other side of the spatial rift. What? The white-browed elder and the others said in disbelief, and then their figures retreated. Then, the Chaos Ants figure slowly appeared in the alternate dimension. Seeing the Chaos Ants, the Spirit Pearl Elder felt a sense of familiarity, as if he had sensed this aura somewhere. Of course, the old man didn't have much time to think about this. The powerful strength of the Chaos Ants made them somewhat helpless. May I ask who you are and why you barged into our Righteous Path Alliance? At this moment, the white-browed elder slowly said to the Chaos Ant. The Chaos Ant looked at the white-browed elder, and an aura burst out from its body. After injecting it into the array, the evil chi that wanted to invade the white-browed old man and the others while they were repelled by him was purified one by one. The spiritual race elder's pupil shrank when he saw the evil chi being purified. Then, he stopped everyone who wanted to speak rudely to the Chaos Ant. He walked forward and said slowly to the Chaos Ant, "Senior Chaos Ant, may I know what business you have with me?" At this moment, the Spiritual Pearl Elder could confirm that the Chaos Ants were basically people from desolate Changshan's island. He had only seen the method of purifying evil energy on Xiao Changshan's island. The Chaos Ant looked at the Spirit Pearl Elder in front of it, and told them about Guo Yurong being attacked by the evil race. After explaining the matter, a stream of light flew out from the Chaos Ant's body, and landed in the hands of the Spiritual Pearl Elder. I think you should know what to do next. I hope you won't disappoint, Master. After saying that, the Chaos Ant did not stay for long. With a flash, he left the alternate dimension where the Righteous Path Alliance was. The Chaos Ants came and left in a hurry. After the Chaos Ant left, the White-Browed Elder and the others came to the Spiritual Pearl Elder's side. She slowly said to him, "Ling Zhu, what exactly is going on?" When the Spirit Pearl Elder heard the White-Browed Elder's question, he did not hide anything. He told them about the attack on Guo Yurong. Damn it! This evil race is actually so arrogant. But Ling Zhu, I think we should focus on appeasing them. After all, if we go to the evil race, we might not be able to return. At this moment, the bull-horned old man slowly said to the Spiritual Pearl Old Man. Soon, the elders in the Righteous Path Alliance were divided into two factions. One was to support the evil clan and eliminate Wuxia, and the other was to appease Xiao Changtian. That was because the human race and the evil race had been at loggerheads with each other for so many years. It had always been the evil race attacking while the human race defended. Desolate Changshan's importance to the human race was self-evident. However, it was not to the extent of making them attack the evil race for him. Hearing the discussion of the elders, the old man in the middle said to them, "There's no need to discuss this matter anymore." As he spoke, the Spirit Pearl Elder took out a sword tassel from his pocket. The moment the sword tassel appeared, the old man in the alternate dimension fell silent. This was the token of the Alliance leader of the Righteous Path Alliance. Once the token appeared, it meant that the Righteous Path Alliance was in a life-and-death situation. The Alliance leader had the right to make an immediate decision based on everyone's opinions. White Brow. Yes. You can go and mobilize all the peak experts of the heavenly spirituals to report here. Bullhorn. You can mobilize all the power you can mobilize in the demon spirit sky. Man Tian, you go. Xingtian. The old man from the Spirit Pearl sect issued one order after another. The white-browed old man did not hesitate to carry out the order. Not long after, in this alternate dimension, it could be said that it carried the largest number of people since he established it. Most of these people were at least imperial immortals, and they were elders or patriarchs of a sect in heavens beyond. After they received the order from their ancestor, they also came here with surprised expressions. This place was also an opportunity for them. The old man saw that the human experts in the alternate dimension had arrived one after another. He also took a step forward and said to them, "I've called you all here for no other purpose. It's to attack the evil race with us. And whoever performs well in this battle, our Righteous Path Alliance will give him a chance to comprehend creation. Therefore, it's up to you whether you want to participate or not." Attacking the evil race was the first time for the human race, but for Xiao Changtian, even if he had never done it before, the old man still decided to do it, because the Chaos Ant gave him a reason to do it. When those human experts heard that there was a chance to comprehend the creation of the world, they were also eager to give it a try. At their realm, it was already very difficult for other things to attract them. The only thing that could attract them now was probably to increase their cultivation. As for fighting for the humans, it was just a beautiful reason for them to get their rewards. Seeing that none of the human powerhouses had left, the old man nodded in satisfaction. Then, a voice filled with vigorous true essence slowly sounded in the alternate dimension. "Then listen to my command now. Bring all your immortal weapons, and set off for the evil race." As soon as the Spiritual Pearl Elder finished speaking, the white-browed elder behind him also changed his hand gestures. Then, the array in the alternate dimension emitted a burst of light that enveloped everyone. When the Spirit Pearl Elder was about to head to the evil race, the white-browed elder could not help but ask him, "Ling Zhu, can you tell us why?" Hearing the white-browed elder's words, a stream of light flew out of the Spiritual Pearl Elder's hand and landed in the hands of the white-browed elder and the others. Seeing the item in their hands, the white-browed elder and the others were shocked, and their gazes became firm. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 688. Evil Tribe's Saint Emissary. The ceiling has been lifted. 1. In a deep and serene hall of the evil race. At this moment, rows of dark soldiers stood side by side in the hall. General Yin was standing right in front of them, as if he was welcoming someone important. Then, the palace's door was opened by a breeze. Whoosh! The moment the palace door opened, all the dark soldiers knelt on one knee. Welcome, Saint Emissary! The orderly and loud voices of the dark soldiers slowly sounded in the hall. Then, a black figure slowly walked in from outside the palace. The figure was covered in black clothes and wore a silver-white mask. He held a strange staff in his hand. The moment the black figure entered, Yin Jiang also hurriedly walked in front of him and said respectfully, "General Yin welcomes the sacred emissary." Looking at General Yin in front of him, the evil race's Saint Emissary nodded at him. "Get up." The evil race Saint Emissary slowly said to everyone and walked up to the seat. Then he slowly said to everyone, "General Yin, I heard that you used the soul pursuit needle to kill the spy that the human race planted in our evil race." Holy Master was very happy when he heard about this, and specially asked me to come and console you. You have made great contributions to the holy war. As he spoke, the Saint Emissary waved his staff. Then, dozens of young women walked in from outside the palace. When he saw these women, Yin Jiang also bowed to the evil race's Saint Emissary. "Thank you, Holy Master." When the evil race's Holy Master saw Yin Jiang's appearance, he said slowly to him, "We are both working for the Holy Master, so there is no need to be so polite." However, the Holy Lord heard that in the human realm upon heavens, the Holy Lord met a man who had a long sword that could purify evil energy. How did you deal with him? Walking down from above, the evil race Saint Emissary also came to Yin Jiang's side and said slowly to him. When Wuxia heard the evil race's Holy Master's words, her body trembled. Obviously, Xiao Changtian still left an indelible impression in his heart. Yin Jiang hesitated for a moment when he heard the evil race's Saint Emissary's words. Then he slowly said to him, "Saint Envoy, we haven't dealt with that human yet. But don't worry, Saint Emissary. I'll make him disappear as soon as possible." Regarding the Holy Master sending people to reward him this time, General Yin originally did not have much confidence in his heart. After all, it was already a sin for him to bring the dark soldiers to heavens beyond without the permission of the higher-ups. He really couldn't figure it out. However, he finally understood that the human in his report also made the Sacred Master feel wary. Sacred Master was reminding him to kill that human and make up for his mistakes. When the evil race Saint Emissary saw Yin Jiang's expression, he knew that he had understood the Holy Master's meaning. The staff emitted a burst of light as he slowly said to General Yin, "General Yin, since you said so, I naturally believe you. The Holy Master will wait for your good news in the abyss." As soon as he finished speaking, the light from the staff fell on the dark soldier. Holy Lord has heard that the dark soldiers are brave and good at fighting in sky beyond. So this is your reward. The dark soldier felt the changes in his body and bowed to the evil race's Saint Emissary. "Thank you, Saint Emissary." After doing all this, the evil race's Saint Emissary slowly said to Yin Jiang, "General Yin, I hope that the next time we meet, I can see that human's head." As the evil race saint spoke, Wuxia's expression changed. She hurriedly walked over to General Yin and prepared to whisper something into his ear. General Yin frowned and said slowly to him, "If you have anything to say, just say it. Can't you see that the sacred emissary is here?" Hearing Yin Jiang's words, Wuxia said to the evil race's Saint Emissary, "Sir, it's bad. According to the report from the soldiers at the border, humans have just attacked the human realm upon heavens." Humans attacking? When the evil race Saint Emissary heard Wuxia's words, he asked in puzzlement. The evil race and the human race have been fighting for so many years, but the human race had never taken the initiative to attack. General Yen, did your subordinate make a mistake? The human race dares to attack our evil race? Hearing the words of the evil race's saint emissary, Yin Jiang said to Wuxia angrily, Wuxia, are you sure you're not wrong? The humans are attacking? It was fine if this Wuxia usually said that, but now he said such things in front of the evil race's saint emissary. Didn't he make the evil clan's holy emissary feel that it was fine to discipline him? Wuxia could feel the anger of the evil race's saint emissary and General Yen. She also tried to contact the evil race guarding the border. Sir, there's no mistake. We can't contact the soldiers outside now. Hearing Wuxia's words, General Yen frowned. True essence surged in his body, and he realized that he could not contact the dark soldiers outside. Could it be that the humans were really attacking? When the evil race saint emissary saw General Yan's expression, he knew the truth. The human race is really shining with a little sunlight. As he said that, the evil race saint emissary also looked outside the palace. At this moment, Yin Jiang slowly said to the evil race's saint emissary, Saint, what should we do now? The evil race saint emissary looked at Yin Jiang and said slowly, Since the human race has taken the initiative to attack, we can save ourselves a lot of trouble. General Yen, organize your men. We will wait here for their arrival. Today, I'm here to make sure that those humans won't be able to return. Let the human race see how huge the gap between them and us evil race is. After saying that, the evil race's saint emissary also walked towards the seats above. When Yin Jiang saw the actions of the evil race's saint emissary, he waved his hand at the dark soldiers beside him. Then, all the dark soldiers were ready to go. At this moment, the evil tribe's saint emissary on his seat was also looking at the sky above the palace. General Yen, open the palace door and let those humans in. Well, close the door and beat the dogs. Outside the palace, the evil race sacred emissary could also sense the presence of the human race. At this moment, the evil race's saint emissary also spoke to Yin Jiang domineeringly. After Yin Jiang heard the words of the evil race's saint emissary, he was about to open the door of the palace. The entire palace shook violently. Boom, boom, boom. Yin Jiang and the others stood in the palace and felt their bodies sway. Then, Yin Jiang and the others saw the ceiling of the palace fly out. Above the palace, human figures could be seen. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 689. Leave None Behind 1. In the sky above the dark palace of the evil race, Yin Jiang, the evil race's saint emissary, and the others looked up at the sky above the palace, their eyes slightly dazed. At this moment, the demonic beasts with powerful cultivation bases in the sky were constantly flapping their wings. They couldn't say that they knew these demon beasts. They were simply extremely familiar with them. That was one of the strongest demonic beasts in the human race, the heavenly dragon beast. However, this heavenly dragon beast was extremely rare to the human race. No matter what, the human race would at least hide them for a backup plan. But today he suddenly appeared here. Being stared at by the heavenly dragon beast, the soldiers of darkness below panicked. Of course, this was not what they feared the most. What they were afraid of was the old man standing on top of the heavenly dragon beasts. Aren't these the old men from the Righteous Path Alliance? Shouldn't they be maintaining their Heaven's Path Grand Array at this moment? Why did all of them come here? General Yen felt that it was very difficult for him to deal with one of them. But now there were 7 or 8 of them. The old man from the spiritual pearl sect at the back made General Yen and the group of darkness soldiers feel even more despair. Ling Zhu, who was known as the #1 expert of the human race, had also arrived. It was still the 4 demonic beasts beside him. Seeing the 4 demonic beasts, General Yen suddenly looked at his right arm. In the last holy war, they were the ones who broke his sleep. However, in the last sacred war, weren't they all severely injured by the sacred lord? Was it impossible for him to recover for the rest of his life? Why did he look even more awesome than before? All of this seemed to indicate that something extraordinary had happened to the human race. First, he purified the evil energy, then he became an evil race spy, and now he was like this. Thinking of this, General Yen was also a little afraid. The human race might have planned for a long time for today. At this moment, Wuxia also came to General Yan's side and said to him slowly, "Sir, what should we do now?" The number of human powerhouses was almost dozens of times that of them. The dark soldiers in the palace seemed to be unable to resist. Moreover, looking at the current situation of the dark soldiers, it was obvious that they had lost their morale. After a round of analysis, Wuxia felt that they had no chance of winning. At this moment, he was also eager to know General Yan's intentions. When General Yan heard Wuxia's words, he patted his chest and said slowly, "Wuxia, don't worry. The sacred emissary is still here. Quickly calm everyone down and prepare to fight the enemy with the saint emissary." At this moment, Yen Jiang also recalled the words of the evil race's saint emissary. As the Holy Lord's envoy, the evil race holy emissary should have some tricks up his sleeves. With that thought in mind, Yen Jiang also looked in the direction of the evil race's saint emissary. "Lord Sacred Emissary, please attack." The evil race's saint emissary was standing on top at this moment. When he heard General Yan's words, his face turned slightly red. This General Yan wanted him to make a move at this time? He couldn't tell if the humans above were deliberately trying to mess with him or not. Wasn't this sending him to his death? With this lineup, even if the Holy Master came, he might not be able to gain an advantage from it. Right now, there was only one thought in the evil tribe's saint emissary's mind, and that was to leave this place as soon as possible. If he didn't return to the Holy Lord's side, today would be his last day as a holy envoy. With that thought in mind, the evil race saint emissary slowly walked towards Yen Jiang. "General Yen, you already understand why I came here today. In that case, I still have other things to do, so I won't accompany you for too long. Good luck." As soon as he finished speaking, the evil race's saint emissary wanted to take advantage of the fact that the human race had yet to attack and walk out. At this moment, beside General Yen, Wuxia hurriedly said to the evil race's saint emissary, "Lord Sacred Emissary, didn't you just say that you wanted to bring us to teach those humans a lesson? What's going on now? Is the saint preparing some big move?" Wuxia's words slowly echoed in the air. After the evil race's saint emissary heard his words, he did not hesitate at all. "Fuck, are the people on General Yan's side trying to mess with me? After he dodged this calamity, he would definitely teach them a lesson." With that thought in mind, the evil race saint emissary did not dare to stay any longer and shot out directly. In midair, the spirit pearl elder saw the evil race's saint emissary, who was trying to escape. A burst of true essence surged in his hand as he pointed at the space in front of the evil race's saint emissary. Following that, a huge spatial rift appeared in front of the evil race saint emissary. The evil race saint emissary felt his heart palpitate when he saw the spatial crack. If he stepped in, he would definitely be swept away. At this moment, the old man from the spiritual pearl sect slowly said to them, "There's actually a time for the evil race to run away?" When he heard the spirit pearl elder's mocking voice, the evil race saint emissary pointed at the spirit pearl elder above him and said slowly, "Do you know who I am? Let me tell you, I'm the holy envoy under the Holy Master. The Holy Master definitely knows that you are here, but there was no one guarding your formation. I don't need to tell you what will happen." The evil race's saint emissary's words slowly echoed in the air. At this moment, he looked at the spirit pearl elder fearlessly. He didn't think that the spiritual pearl elder would treat the entire human race as a joke. When the old man heard his words, he laughed out loud. "Oh, can I take it that you're threatening me?" Hearing the spirit pearl elder's words, the evil race saint emissary also revealed a smug smile. "That's right, you can understand it that way. If you leave now, I can still consider how to tell the Holy Master about this." Hearing the evil race saint emissary's words, the spiritual race elder smiled at him. "From what you said, it seems like letting you go is a better choice." The smile on the evil race's saint emissary's face widened when he saw the spirit pearl elder's concession. "Yes, you absolutely think so. After the evil race's Saint Emissary finished speaking, the Spirit Pearl Elder burst into laughter. Righteous Path Alliance experts, listen up. Yes, when the people from the Righteous Path Alliance heard the old man's words, they also gave a deafening response. When the evil race Saint Emissary below saw the Spirit Pearl Elder, he had a bad feeling. Then the old man's words slowly entered his ears. Leave none of the evil beings here alive. Yes, sir. The moment the old man from the Spirit Pearl sect finished speaking, the experts from the Righteous Tao Alliance charged towards the evil race Saint Emissary and the others. The eyes of the evil tribe Saint Emissary and the others also revealed a look of fear. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.